Alright, so we're good to go here. Let's fire it up. Da-da-da-da.
It's like, I thought I had testicular cancer a few weeks ago, but then the lump went away. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, how's that for an
That's
intro,
terrifying.
guys?
Yep.
Welcome back to another game of
was free.
No, that's
Skyfall
fucking
5.
terrifying. Holy shit.
There will be no testicular lumps this episode. It's fantastic to have you
Are you
guys
sure?
all back. No, I'm not with you guys.
What if I go unconscious? And that's the penalty.
How was the week?
It was pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Eventful,
How was it? Pretty good. You guys all met up.
That's why it's pretty good.
because we were all there. So
I would have been hype as shit, dude. I would have shown up with like hookers and blow, and like we would have just.
I was hyped. Don't get me wrong. I was
That would've
super
been
fucking
fun.
hyped. I'm just tired after all of it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
slept in this morning. Jimmy cleaned the house for me.
Well, I'm sure we'll have a nice, relaxing game of D&D here to just help you settle in. In our last session, you guys had done a whole bunch of stuff. You were in town and milling about. You spoke with a bunch of people, kind of started some jobs, finished some jobs. The highlight of the evening was likely the cross-dressing session that three of our party members partook.
one of them sort of
Partaking?
did half of it.
And yeah, we don't talk about that. The token's still here somewhere, I'm sure.
Hiding
It's
it.
in climate.
He's hiding it, yep. But where we come to now is a small little event with Tessa, as we more or less wrapped up most threads, but you were in the middle of a date, so we're gonna go ahead and cut over to that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh.
Tessa, you are with the guardsman Kane, and the two of you have been kind of chit-chatting, and he's taking you off to a restaurant in town, and you guys, promptly head in there and get some seats. Is there anything that you're trying to kind of, like, ascertain, or, like, something that you're trying to do during the date?
Sex.
Sex,
No.
okay.
Not during the date. Not during.
Roll for sex.
Oh my god, no. Wait, what?
Yeah. It's 2
Wait, what?
charisma checks, a strength check, fortitude save.
Sleight of
Straight out
hand
of the
check.
fatal,
Yeah.
Right.
straight out of the fatal handbook.
Yeah, you can do sleight of hand or 2 athletics. So, as you guys kind of make your way over towards the table there, Guardsman Kane seems to want to know about your life. Yeah, he tells you pretty early on, I'm a guard, I've been in the city for some time, my parents owned a farm outside of town, and blah, blah, blah. He seems like a very sort of run-of-the-mill kind of guy.
Does he even look decent? Or is he ugly?
Oh. Let's
Can
roll.
you roll for luck? Oh,
My,
roll for luck.
My what's it called? Actually, no, we roll d10s for looks in this ever since the
Oh, right.
ever
Makes
since the
sense.
session with Wednesday.
Oh, baby, I'm scared.
So I don't have the dice cam, so we're gonna be using stuff on the table. Let's see what we get here.
Oh, give me a 10.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
pretty
nice. Oh,
fucking
fuck.
hot.
Okay. Alright, I'll do it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
we'll-
like-
we'll do it.
He's describing all this to you, like, oh, I was a stable hand and stuff, and then when I turned 16, they kicked me off the farm, and it's weird to hear him say all this because it sounds so mundane, but he's so pretty. He's got chiseled jaw, just the right amount of scruff and everything. He stands tall, he's a confident fellow.
She's like asking about me?
Yeah, so he turns to you after he kind of gives you this spiel, and he says, so what do you do, Tessa? I mean,
Well, I think I told you a little bit earlier. I like to write stories, adventuring stories.
oh, so you're like a traveling writer, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you work for a book company?
No.
So
Guess
it's
not. Like,
it's like a hobby or something then.
well, can I roll to see if you'd be like surprised if she's an adventurer or something?
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
I think from just your innate insight, you'd know that he is aware of your that you're not somebody who just like lives in the town. Like he can tell that you don't really fit in with all the rabble, I guess. As far as whether you're an adventurer or something else, though, that you're going to have to discern on your own.
I see. Hmm. Sorry, I want to think about wording. Or
Oh,
how
no,
I'm
for
gonna word
sure.
this. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like figure out how I'm gonna say this. Okay. I like to go to different towns. Like we recently just arrived here not too long ago, Kane. I like to go to different towns and see, like the people's take on their horror stories, or their folk stories, and I like to try and debunk them.
Oh, interesting. I'd like you to go ahead and roll luck, please.
Oh no! Luck roll. Please give me a 20. 13.
He looks to you and he says, I've heard of some mysteries around here. If you're looking for folk tales, have you checked out the Howling Cave yet?
Howling Cave, huh? Interesting. Tell me more.
Well, it's a little bit down to the south, and kind of a bit off the beaten path. I've never been. Well, I went when I was a kid, but, once I started working, I haven't had much time for that. But they say that there's supposed to be a hag that lives there, who steals children in the night.
And you went there as a child?
Well, it's ghost stories and everything.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if I was braver then, or if I'm just smarter now.
I'll definitely have to go check that out.
Yeah. But, I don't know, you might find nothing, but if it is real, it could be a good story, I guess.
Thank you, Kane. That's actually exactly what I'm looking for. I haven't found much when I got here.
You don't do all this alone, do you?
Oh, no, I have a group of friends. And that's why I don't exactly stay in town every day. I do disappear for quite some time.
Oh, are they, they're really busy?
Well, I mean, when we find a story, we kind of chase it till it's done, I guess.
Something new every day. That's quite the life you have.
Yeah, so tell me about how long have you been a guard? Was that your whole
probably
life?
9-10 years now, something like that.
9-10 years. Can I roll to see if I know how old he is?
Oh, sure. Go for it. Make a perception check. You can do investigation if you want, whichever.
Oh, perception's higher. Be a 9. Fuck.
Okay, you're making a guess. On one hand, he has a couple of wrinkles here and there, but they're quite slight. And on the other hand, he's fairly handsome, which could be, hiding his age, potentially. Your guess kind of puts him somewhere between, early 20s to early 30s.
God, such a...
It's a pretty big jump. Yeah, you can't really tell.
Kane, do you work tomorrow?
Yep. Yeah, every day. I actually stay on the estate there, with Mr. Morgan.
Oh. So you can't just take a day off? I'm trying to hint something towards him. I'm trying to... Very obviously.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Oh, baby. I think I'm good at these.
Here we go.
Please don't be a 1. That's 11.
We're only rolling 5s tonight, baby.
I know. Seriously. Ugh.
He kind of leans in towards you and he says, well, maybe. What did you have in mind?
Well... Oh, no, I gotta think of my phrasing. Fuck.
She's getting flustered. He's too hot.
Yeah, it's just too hard. Well, maybe we can take the day and kind of explore this cave,
Whose cave are you going to explore?
Not his. The hag cave somewhere.
He kind of pauses for a moment and he thinks to himself, and let's see here.
I should get advantage illusion. I'm beautiful. My face is so beautiful. I should have gotten an advantage on that persuasion.
So what are you on the hotness scale then? Before I
I'm
roll
like
here?
I'm like an 8.5.
An 8.5. Strong 8.5.
Has the attractive.
8.6.
Ah, 8.6.
He pauses for a moment and he says, well, I like the idea of going on an adventure with you, Tessa, but
I mean, it'd be like a date, you know? Another one.
it's quite the jump from, he kind of like looks around and looks back from dinner to exploring monster caves. You do this with all of your, with all of your dates?
Oh, I haven't really been on a date. I'm gonna look really sad. Down to the floor.
Is this true?
Yes.
Okay. Roll persuasion with advantage.
Yes!
If you get a 15 here, he agrees. Uh-oh.
Yes!
Oh, okay.
+6! It's either 15 no matter what!
He looks like he doesn't really want to, but when you make this this sort of gesture and kind of play like a bit of a pity card there, he's like,
Oh, so
okay,
sad.
well, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Mr. Morgan and see if I can get the day off. I haven't taken one in a while.
I mean, if you don't want to, King, you don't have to. I'm not gonna make you.
Nonsense. I was just, I've been cautious for so long. It'll be fine. We'll go and explore it and see what we can find there. And who knows what
Well,
else.
do you think a hag really lives down there?
Well, I do remember, when we were kids and we went to go look at it, we heard a noise from inside the cave and ran. But,
Oh.
I mean, it could have been anything. Could have been a frog or something,
I guess, yeah. Okay. So, if you can, should I just stop by tomorrow to see if you can take the day off?
Sure, or I can come by and pick you up. Are you?
Table talk. What is? Do I stay at like a really gross tavern, or is it like a?
Your tavern I would describe as plain. It is not run down, but it is neither fancy. I'm trying to think. Sure, you can stop by. I'm at Ursa's Tavern. Is it Ursa's? Oh yeah, no, I know that one. Sure, I'll come by tomorrow if I manage to get the day off.
Yeah, just ask Cal which room is mine. I'll let you in.
Throughout the evening, you guys are chit-chatting about this and, kind of get some food and whatnot, which is quite good. And Kane picks up the bill and everything, unless you want to intercept.
I would like to try to.
He'll definitely, pause and be like, no, it's, I've got this.
Oh, thank you.
So he pays, and afterwards, you guys kind of go wandering out. And when you're stepping out into the street in the evening, he kind of looks over to you and says, "So where to, Tessa?"
So anyway, we could take a stroll around. Probably maybe not too much exploring tonight. Is there like a big set of gardens? Like, not the ones you saw Morgan in, but like.
I'd say there's some other ones further away.
Oh, I will probably mention the closest one other than the one at Morgan's.
Okay. He says, "Yeah, I don't think I've wandered through those in a while. We could go."
Sure.
And the two of you kind of go wandering off. Now, at this point, there's a couple of other people who are sort of doing things. Merton, you're casing Castle's house, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to leave, and I'll try to learn his, if he has one, routine, like where he goes, because my plan is to not go back to the gardens as Victoria, but like be somewhere doing Victoria things where he walks, and like hopefully he sees me first is the hope. So
Right.
I need to learn his route in order to do that.
Well, at the moment, it is the evening, and if you're hoping to kind of discern his whereabouts and what he kind of does on the regular, you find that your hopes are sort of dashed as the evening falls, the sun goes down, and after a few hours, you see the light in the windows from the upper rooms go out, and then that's it. There's like no doors open or nothing. You see the guards who stand outside. One of them occasionally kind of opens the door and goes in, but that's about it.
So he probably doesn't go out too much.
Now, during the day, he might have a routine, but at night, it seems like, he just goes to sleep.
Okay. Maybe I'd prefer then, if the night is still young enough, to survey some of the taverns for a good place to have a date with him.
Ah, okay. So, you kind of go looking around and seeing if you can find, like, a nice establishment around here. And Zakul and Zenkas, what are you guys up to at the moment?
We were...
Because you guys had gone into the inner city, and I think you're with Trent on the way out, right?
We're on our way back from Merkunzen's, and he wanted to stop by a few places, and I wanted to
Okay.
basically keep his spending down. That's his decision. So I think we gotta wait for Jay to come back.
Yeah, so we'll get to you guys when Jimmy returns. So, back to you, Tessa. You guys are wandering throughout the evening here, and I'd like you to roll luck, please.
Oh baby, is this my 20? That's an 11. But that's okay. That's closer to 20 than 1.
Okay. While you are wandering down the road, it's dark, and there's only, the occasional light from a lantern or an open window that still has something going on to kind of light up any of the streets. And getting closer towards the gardens, you guys have a moment where you see further up ahead what looks like some city thieves, right? Some sort of disreputable types wandering down the road. There's like a gang of 4 of them kind of headed in your direction.
Wait, so Kane notices too?
Yeah, you can see it. If you look over at Kane, he's watching them keenly as well.
Kane? You okay?
Huh? Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. Just keep walking.
Okay. Are we approaching them closer then? Like, are we going to cross paths, or is he, like, trying to avoid them?
Yeah, you guys are traveling opposite directions, about to collide here on the same road.
I am going to step on the other side of Kane away from him. So, like, I guess... Does that make sense?
Sure.
So he would be between... It would be me, Kane, and then the thieves if we were to, like, pass directly.
As you guys get closer, one of them turns over towards you, and, as he calls out, his group kind of stops, and they almost sort of fan out ever so slightly. Their little cluster starts to spread out over the road, and as he calls to you, he says, late time for a walk, huh? And, Kane doesn't say anything at first.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
I'm gonna look at... Does he look like he's, like, about to fight or something?
Oh, make a
Like he's ready
perception
for
or
a
an
fight?
investigation check.
15. Perception.
You've been adventuring for a while, and you can kind of tell when people are about to throw down, and you see that Kane's hand has wandered to the top of his sword.
Oh. And about what time of night is this? Is it, like, already dark?
It's dark, there's dim light in the streets from the nearby shops and stuff.
I think I will just... Wait, did we stop walking, or are we still walking?
You guys have stopped since this guy is called out, because there's now a couple people standing in front of you.
I will just look. I guess look at the one who called out. It's such a nice night. I mean, plenty of people are out walking right now. Trying to like use that to like kind of persuade them to like, you know, there might other be people around, so probably not.
He kind of like looks up and down the street. There's somebody wandering like way off in the distance, and somebody else who's kind of closing their door. You guys are kind of the only ones there.
Oh,
And he
fuck.
turns back to you and sort of chuckles.
Well, I guess we'll be seeing you. And then I'll start walking away with King. Like I'll kind of tug on his arm. Oh, look at the tokens already coming out, huh?
Look at Kane, about to be a hero.
Uh-huh. More like Tessa's gonna fucking destroy him. You know.
One of them kind of steps over as you go to move, and he goes, "Not so fast, miss. It's dangerous in these streets at this time of night. We could protect you, though, if you,
No, I think I'm perfectly fine.
Are you sure?" And as he says that, he kind of looks over his shoulder, and this guy over here, like, reaches into his pocket, and you see him pull a blade, like, halfway out of its sheath.
Yeah, I think we're perfectly fine. And I'm gonna look at Kate and just kind of hope he notices.
Make an insight check, please.
Please let me know. Once I scroll up my character sheet.
Kane is very pretty, but dumb.
Yeah. Go figure, right? I get that one. Insight. That's a 14.
Kane turns to you and gives you a look. It looks questioning almost, and after a moment, you think he's trying to say, like, do we do it? Like, do we go for it or not? But he doesn't actually say anything. He just kind of stands there with his hand on his sword.
Slightly try to nod without the other ones noticing, I guess. But I don't know. I guess since he's right next to me, it's a little bit darker.
Sure.
If I slightly nod, he'd be able to see it, and maybe they wouldn't. I can't guarantee it.
When you kind of give him a slight nod, he immediately turns over and just decks one of them in the face, and I need you to go and roll initiative.
Yay! No, guys, if you lose Tessa tonight, I'm sorry. She should have gone on a date.
I have faith in Team Money.
She should have gone on a date. I
have faith in pretty boy Kane.
You
Well, he rolled pretty good for AC.
He's a 9 out of 10, Jimmy.
He's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, we
He's-
rolled
he's-
for his.
He's level 9.
We roll d10s to see prettiness in this game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, he goes first. Okay, and let's see. Let's
Wait,
clean
King
up the
goes
initiative
first?
bar.
Oh, no, I knew he goes first.
Let's get
Where, is he stupid or is that like just?
We
a
don't
joke?
know.
That was just a meme.
No, that was just a joke because
We
if
have no idea.
if he had no idea that he was about to get like attacked here, or people were seeing that he was dumb.
So he steps over here and goes to swat at this one, and oh geez, he misses as the one kind of like steps back away from him, and everybody immediately kind of pulls out their weapons at that point, and Kane does the same, and then sends out his sword immediately after, and he hits him. Let's see. Oh, whoops. He immediately cuts this man's throat, and he just falls to the ground.
Oh. So, are the rest of them scared?
Let's see here. Nope, they mob onto you immediately, and I've got 2 attacks here to see if your date dies or not, and then I'll have an attack for you.
Oh,
in
is
a
he
moment.
squishy? Fuck. Ugh. Oh!
He just got fucked.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
Maybe the damage will go really badly.
Maybe you can save him.
Oh.
Falls in love with you. Do we have an NPC pet to follow us around?
Oh.
Okay, Kane is stabbed once and then a second time here. And, you know, the first one kind of pulls his blade out, and the second one, it looks like it's kind of lodged into his chest there. But Kane's still standing, even though there's, like, blood pouring down onto the ground in front of him.
Yuck. Okay.
And this guy runs over to you and makes a slash at you.
What's my...
Thanks, tabletop.
Wait, really?
Love it.
Holy.
The 12-13. Okay,
My AC's a 14. So.
you do get hit then. And he slashes you for 5 damage.
Ow. Fuck. Okay.
And then it is your turn.
Oh. I would like to...
You can see also, in the midst of slashing you there, he, with his free hand, he makes like a reaching motion out trying to grab your bag, but, you know, he misses.
Ah. Let's see. Okay, let's see, he's melee range. Okay, I will cast Healing Word on Game.
Okay.
Damn it. Educated. Educated. It's 1d4 plus spellcasting ability modifier, which would be Charisma plus Cleric shit, right? Yeah.
Plus
If you're
cleric.
using
shit.
Life Cleric, you have to use Wisdom. I'm pretty sure you'd have to use Wisdom for the bonus.
So I can't use like, because I can't use like it as a bard slot and use the charisma.
If you
I
have
think
that
that's-
spell because you got it from cleric, then you use cleric modifiers.
I got it for being bard. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's on
Um,
my bard list.
Bard healing word is charisma based then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I just thought for like Life Cleric to get the bonus, it had to be a Life Cleric spell.
4 plus 4 plus 2. He
4.
gets 10 HP back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
After that, you know, you kind of cast this healing word on him, and he reaches down and grabs the sword in him and kind of like, you know, pulls it out of his chest.
And that is a bonus action? It is. Healing word? Right? Yes. This is gonna be a disadvantage, isn't it? Can I cast Guiding Bolt at disadvantage because I summon a melee?
Cast guiding bolt at disadvantage. Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's a ranged attack.
Who are you hitting?
I'm gonna try to do the guy in front of me.
Go for it.
Okay. Wait. My sheet is like fucking super long. Let me scroll.
Mhm.
Okay. Guiding Bolt's the cleric one. Wait, I was supposed to roll another one. That would be the 11 to hit?
11?
Yeah.
You miss, unfortunately.
Okay, that's the end of my turn. I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay. There's a blast that extends from your hand here, and this man easily kind of dodges to the side there as it flies off into the distance. A bolt of radiant energy flying off into the night. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh,
Kane gets 15.
I got a 12.
And he'll cut at one of these guys. And miss, unfortunately.
Oof.
And
What?
it is your turn.
Oh. Man, I love this. Fuck. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and guide him. I'm looking at my spells. I might as well use them. Right? Yeah.
Oh, no.
10's not gonna hit.
Nope.
Alright.
Is that
I
your
will
turn?
just Bardic Inspiration Cane as the bonus action.
Bardic Inspiration. Okay. 2 attacks on him. Oh, no.
Oh.
Let's see, what's he at? If this does 13 damage, then he's dead.
Oh.
So if they're both really high. Oh my god, that's 12 damage.
Yay!
And an attack on you?
Damn, Kay, take a walk in the park. Great fucking idea.
Does a 12 hit you?
Nope.
Okay. And then, let's see here. After he slashes at you, he says, fucking hand it over, Missy.
Oh, right, I'm rich on this one, aren't I? Fuck! You're right, okay.
Yeah, right? Is that your response?
Yes.
Roll again. Let's see, Kane
Wait.
gets... Not so good.
Oh, roll initiative. I was like, wait, what?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, 20. I think I'll just...
Okay,
use
it's your turn
reasonable
first.
spell slot. I'm gonna move... Man, I don't want to be in too melee ranges. It's an opportunity attack if I move?
Mm-hmm. Unless you disengage.
Let me look at how many spell slots I've used.
3? Question mark?
Yeah, I've used 3. How many do I have? I have 4?
You're a level 3 caster now, right? So,
Yeah, 2 bard, 1 with 1 cleric. Wait, do I still get the level 1s from each one? Or the level from each one?
you have to look at the multi-classing page, and it'll tell you what you have for slots as those casters.
Oh, baby. I think I have at least 1 left. I'm pretty sure, because I looked this up last time.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would
Okay.
have 4 level 1 spells and then a level 2, right? Because you're a cleric wizard, is it?
Cleric Bard.
Cleric bard. Are bards full casters? Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have a level 2 spell. Bards don't get that till level 3. It's not a level 2.
No, but you'd have a level 2 spell slot, even though you don't have a level 2 spell.
Yeah.
Right.
You can still cast one of your spells at... You have 4
Level 2?
first level slots and 2 second level slots, even though you don't have any second level spells.
Did you look it up there, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right here.
Sweet.
Oh, baby! Let's cast Healing Word at 2nd level, then.
Okay. On Kane again?
Yeah. Motherfucker squishier than I am. Alright, 6 plus 4 plus 2, so
I
12.
don't think he's that much squishier. I just think he's being focused.
Okay. You heal him another time. Is that your turn?
That's a bonus action.
Yes, you still have your action.
Man, I'll just use my rapier. Fucking Christ. Actually, I don't fucking have one! Fuck! No, I do, I bought one! Okay, I'll use the rapier. Sorry. I was like, ugh. There's too many things going on, man.
It's okay.
I'll do the one next to me.
Okay. Hey, you hit him. There you go.
19.
Roll damage.
Where's my D8? Plus 2, so 6 damage.
Okay.
Oh, I finally hit.
He looks like, you know, badly wounded, but he's still fighting with you even after you stabbed him here.
Oh.
Is that your turn?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you. Sorry it took really long.
I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh. Okay, I'm okay at these.
You have to beat a... Oh, you have to beat a good number, a 20.
No.
Okay.
No.
This guy reaches forward, grabs a hold of your bag, and snatches it from your hands, and then immediately turns to run with it.
Wait, so he's out of my range? Wait, would he get an opportunity attack? Or do
Yep,
just
you can make an opportunity attack on him if you want.
Oh. Get the fuck over here.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
that's 20. Come here, bitch!
Roll damage?
Don't mess with Kay's stuff.
10 damage.
Okay, he turns to run here, and he only gets like a foot away here with your purse before you just lunge forward, and your rapier exits on the other end there, and he kind of falls off of it, dead, and your bag just lands in the ground.
Would
And-
Mage Hand be a free action to pick it up and bring it back to me?
No, unfortunately.
Damn, okay. Alright, it's worth a shot, it's worth a shot.
At that point, these guys both dip, and they immediately disengage and leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you going to attempt to pursue?
I will not, but I
Can
would like
Kane get an opportunity attack on one of them?
No, they both
they
disengage.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
was like,
if that's the case, you guys are no longer in combat.
Kate, are you okay? As I'm going to the other one, so you spare the dying.
He's holding his chest here, and you can see he's got like multiple wounds in him. And he goes, actually, I don't know what magic that was, but I feel much better than I look.
I'm glad as you're bleeding out. Spare the dying would not save either of these two.
Go ahead and roll luck.
Another nat 20.
Do you want either of them to be alive?
Yeah.
They're both saved.
But it's unconscious?
Yeah, they're both unconscious.
Huh. Should we do something about them, Kate, or do you just wanna... I'm gonna do like... the slit the throat motion to him, like... just kill him.
He looks over and he goes, God, no, no. We have to call
I
the
was just
guard.
making sure, because they were dead. So I wasn't sure.
He like kind of leans over by one of them while you're checking on him, and feels that he still has a pulse and everything, and he goes, "No, we're not gonna kill them."
Oh no, Kate, they were definitely dead.
What do you mean?
Oh, were they moving? I thought they were just definitely dead.
I don't know. I didn't see during the whole thing.
Oh. I
It
guess
doesn't
we'll-
matter.
yeah,
We have
we'll
to
just
call the
bring them
guard.
in.
He kind of like, gets up. He's clearly flustered here. His hands are covered in blood and everything. He, puts his sword away and he says, "Look, you stay right here, and I'm gonna go and get somebody, okay?"
Oh yeah, I'll just stay by myself while the other two ran away.
Okay,
What are
fine.
the
Come with
chances
me
I'm
then,
passing
okay?
by this
I'm
area?
only teasing Kate, it's fine. Just go get a guard.
Okay. All right. And he just like turns and runs,
Fuck. Ugh.
and you're just left standing in the street there with these two bodies. Just like pool of blood.
Man,
everywhere.
I wish I had a cell phone to call Trent. Trent, come on. Let go.
I got
I
two
got two.
guys.
I got two.
Now he goes running off, and meanwhile, I think this is a good time.
Oh, thank God.
How was cake, Jimmy? Was it beautiful?
Oh, it was buttercream
Oh,
icing coated and full of deliciousness.
describe it more slowly.
Yeah, so
Slower,
I
you slit.
took my finger and I dipped it in. No, it was good.
Jesus Christ.
Butter.
More adjectives.
Butter.
So you and Zenkas and Zakul are off in the actual main portion of the city. You guys are kind of in this big noble district that is the center of Hillcrest, and you finished speaking with the Merkunzens, specifically Bastion, and he had given you a few things and sent you off on your way, and you guys were just leaving the estate and had just stepped out into the city's streets. It's the middle of the night. It's dark out and everything. You must have been in there talking with them for an hour or two, as it's now definitely gotten significantly darker than when you first pulled into town. What did the three of you guys want to do?
I was
thought
heading
it'd
towards
be-
the tavern, but if Trent wants to go shopping like you suggested, then I would like to do something.
Have you told them about... I don't remember if you told them about the bar last session.
I thought
No,
he
it's
carried it out.
I'm pretty sure I stuck it in my bag.
Oh, okay.
I think I like had said that I was carrying it out like as a meme, but then I said like no, I would have tried to play it cool and just slipped it in my bag.
Okay.
I'm probably trying to take the lead and, like, you know, act like I am used to being in charge of people and, like, kind of walk off towards the gate until we're, like, out of sight of the house.
Sure. Yeah, you get to a point where you're kind of, you know, in a portion of the street where there's no one around.
I'm just gonna turn around and be like, holy shit, they gave me so much gold. And then I'm gonna turn and keep walking forward. Like, you know, just like a real fast turn around, holy shit, they gave me so much gold, and then turn, keep walking.
I turn towards Zenkus. I meet his eyes and whisper in common, you know how much gold he got.
I just say into his head, no idea.
Oh, I sigh and start following Trent.
Okay. Is there like a pep in your step there, Trent?
Yeah, I'm pretty bouncy.
Okay. You guys go wandering off into the city, and it's clear from the way that Trent wanders about that he's just received something amazing. Or something he perceives to be amazing.
Once we're through the gate back into, like, outside of the main city,
Okay.
then I'll pull them into an alley and show them what I got.
Okay. The guards don't stop you when you go and get to the gate. You find that leaving the city is a lot easier than getting into the city. And, you know, they give you a quick questioning and everything, asking you why it is that you were here. You give them the same reasons, and before long, you're outside and have left the noble district here. So you're outside of the walls now.
And I pull them into the closest alleyway.
Okay.
I flip open my bag and I'm like, look at this motherfucker. And I pull out the gold bar.
There at the bottom of Trent's bag, you see a gold bar. Solid gold. And it has a little bit of writing on it there. A little factory press showing that it's worth 500.
I open my mouth for a moment, then I grimace as I realize who's holding it. And I reach over.
As he reaches for it, I close my bag strings.
I want to, like, kind of muscle it away from him and, like, hold it slightly above his head and, like, Trent, it is for your own good. And for the good of the group.
But...
Listen, I understand this is essentially your gold. It is not, does not necessarily have to be shared by normal venturing rules. But I say with emphasis, you have a tendency to excessively indulge in drink and non-essential items.
I want that cloak.
Now, if this is very important for your very survival, then I will agree with you. But if it's a cloak that's just going to make you feel pretty and like a
Did you see
noble
how
again,
underdressed I was in that city? If I go back there, I have to have better clothes.
well, from what I understand, we're departing on an expedition, not going back into the main city anytime soon. And probably this gold will be best spent in increasing your chances of survival out there, rather than, you know, looking pretty in the city.
Okay, well, I was going to share with you guys anyway, so I guess this just saves me the effort of carrying that heavy thing around.
I lean in closer to Trent and sort of to, like, maybe, like, stoke his ego a bit. Trent, you are in fact the leader of this coven, Lord Goldenbrow, but this also means you should be ensuring you're looking out for everyone's well-being, not just splitting an ego.
That's fair, I think.
Okay, so,
Alright, well, let's go find everybody. Back to the tavern?
plus, this is pretty heavy, as I can feel it in my bag here. If you absolutely need it, then I'll be there to help you with your purchase.
Now, I have something to mention. Zakul, as a follower of Azun, having a gold bar in hand is like, I have a really good offering for my god right now in my hand. Now what what you want to do with it and everything is up to you. But you would know this, that this would be like the kind of thing that he would accept as an offering.
Right. But I also wouldn't want to deceive my own god that it's mine. And as my own principles, it would be that I would discuss it with him and offer it as a chance if I get the chance to, like,
Sure, right,
give
yes.
Trent the option to talk to Izun.
Okay. So you guys kind of go wandering off, and you're headed straight for the tavern, yes?
Nope.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Now, Merton, you're here in the middle of the night, and you're watching over this house, and nothing happens for a couple hours. What are you doing? You gonna keep waiting?
Yes, before I said I'd be wandering around.
Oh yeah,
looking
wandering
at,
about.
like bars or whatever.
So you find a couple of places nearby that look like they'd be good for a date venue, and you know, most of them are closing up as it's getting later. They're open late, but you know, as it gets real late, they start to close their doors.
I want a place with, like close by, like I don't know what's in the city, but maybe like there's a forest or somewhere you can walk that would be good for like an ambush, you know, because that's probably what we're gonna do. So like we eat dinner, and we go out for like he likes nature, like a stroll through potentially a wooded area, if that's a thing.
What do you have for intelligence proficiencies?
Ooh, nothing, I don't think.
Make a luck roll, please.
Nothing.
Let's see if you just happen to know. Oh.
No,
Okay.
sir.
You find a few places here and there, but what greenery there is here in town is kind of limited to a few gardens here and there. Unless you're going to go to the outskirts of town where the city kind of meets the wilderness, you're not going to find much. You also don't know what kind of places are out there. Most people say that it's just kind of like farms and hermits and stuff like that that live on the edges.
Okay, maybe we go the opposite route in a place that it has, like, because I wouldn't want to take him down a shady alley, but someplace where you can do an ambush that's like alone. Or maybe we just wait till later in the night.
Sure. So you go wandering about and trying to case this place out for a while here. And meanwhile, in the street, Tessa, you're standing there by a few bodies, and, you know, a few minutes go by until, you know, you see somebody who comes wandering over, and it looks like a commoner that's kind of walking in your direction, and he's sort of whistling a tune to himself and looking around and, you know, stares at his feet and the road and everything. And then as he gets closer, he kind of looks up and then sees you there standing by the two bodies and immediately just turns around and goes, "Ah! Ah!" and like runs off into the nearby alleyway.
Did I know what he looked like?
Yeah, he, you know, he had like little scruffy blondish hair and whatnot. Seemed like a young guy.
Fuck. The party's so not gonna be happy.
Now, shortly
Do I
after
see
him,
Kane coming back? Okay, I
Yeah.
was like, do I see him coming back?
a minute or two after that, you see Kane returns, and he comes back with a group of 4 guardsmen with him. And, you know, Kane's wearing his regular clothes and only really has his sword by his side, but the others are all completely decked out. And, you know, when they get up to the place, you know, they start to comb through their things and look over the scene and everything. And one of them starts to check down some alleyways and whatnot. And Kane comes up to you as they sort of take over, and he goes, "Okay, that's dealt with. Sorry, I'm usually a
No,
little bit
don't
more
be sorry. That was
unexpected."
incredible.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, not the same we were going for.
Thank you. Maybe it'd be a good idea if I just took you home.
Yeah.
We can go on a walk some other time.
Sure. So I guess we'll put that little adventure for tomorrow on hold, but could I stop by before your shift and we'll get breakfast?
Oh,
I'm not sure if you want to go adventuring after that directly. We could always pick it up a different day.
well, I'll have to talk to, you know, to Castle and see if you can come by early like that, but...
Oh, right. Well, I'll be awake pretty early, so if you want to grab breakfast, you know where I'm staying.
Right, yeah, the tavern. Okay, I will see you there if I can, okay?
Okay.
Alright, he kind of, like, looks over at the bodies over there that are being rifled through by the guards and everything, and he goes, well, you know, I had a good night for the most part.
Yeah, it was definitely eventful.
Yeah, he kind of gives you a smile and says, okay, well, I'll see you next time, Tessa.
Wait, is he not gonna walk me home?
Oh, sorry, he wanted to be with you. Yeah, he'll walk you home and kind of take you over to the tavern. And I would say, let's see how the luck goes.
Roll for a kiss, please.
If luck
I'm gonna
is high,
We gotta swoon him. Come on.
you
Be
guys
on
are
my
gonna
side, luck.
bump into people.
Oh, never mind. Something you.
Okay.
It's like, come on, I gotta swoon him.
You get over to the tavern door there, and you know, he gives you that same spiel. Sorry, I thought that, you know, I forgot about the walk, but he says, you know, I had a good time despite how everything went, and you know, maybe the next one won't have so much excitement.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't scare you off with that whole thing.
Yeah. Are you trying to lead him into giving you a kiss goodnight?
Yes.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll, and I'm gonna roll insight for Kane.
God fuck.
Can we just happen to be outside and whistling?
You piece of shit.
That's why I
I'll
rolled
be a
luck.
19.
Okay. Kane's not the most insightful person at this moment. Maybe still a bit frazzled from what had happened, but you kind of like lay it on thick, and you know, he leans in, gives you a kiss for the evening there. He says, "Well, see you next time, Tessa."
See ya.
And it kind of turns, goes down the road, and leaves you standing there by the door of Ursa's tavern.
Okay, first let's head. Where's the cool? Zakul's the fixer. Where's the cool? That's the first fucking like thought in my head immediately after he leaves. Zakul's the fixer. Zakul fixes. So I will go into the tavern looking directly for Zakul.
Sure. So you go into the tavern, and you find that none of your friends are actually there. There's a table of like really drunk people, like really drunk over there in the corner, and you can see Cal behind the bar, and he gives you a wave and goes, "Tessa, how's it going?"
Cal, hey, am I still all bloody?
You are, but it seems like he hasn't really noticed. Maybe because your dress is like all red, so he thinks like it's gloves that you're wearing or something.
Hey Cal, where's the cool?
Oh, I don't know. Went out way earlier and I haven't seen him.
I'm gonna go wait. Alright, thanks Cal. I'm gonna go wait in their room. I'm not
Sure.
gonna change or anything. I'll just wait there.
Now, next up is you three. You guys wander into the tavern here, and it's empty, save for a single table that is very, very rowdy over in the corner. And Cal kind of just gives you guys a wave. He goes, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Good evening, Patron Cal.
I hope you guys are having a pleasant evening.
More or less. Have any of our companions returned?
Actually, yeah. Tessa came by, and she said, looking for you. I think she's down the hall.
Thank you, Patron. Trent?
Sorry, I was just rolling to see if I'm containing my excitement. I'm doing pretty good right now, so.
Well, is
Everyone
that this,
was
Trent? Let's go see what Tessa needs.
Sure. Hey, Cal. I'll,
He kind of looks over. Hey, Trent.
I'm
The,
looking over my shoulder,
thanks.
like a little worried.
Thanks again for, letting me kind of like lean in and say brew real quietly, because I don't know if it's like kosher that people are brewing upstairs.
Ah. He says, "Oh, don't worry about it. You know, it'll be between you and me."
Yeah, I'll be sure you get a taste when it's done. I think we're gonna run it through at least another time, but I'll try not to do it here.
Like I said, you don't burn down my tavern, and it's fine by me.
Thanks again, though. And I'll slide. I don't have like a good tip amount. I'll slide a gold piece across the table.
Okay. He takes the gold piece and gives you a nod. He says, I've still got some warm stew left, by the way, if you guys are hungry. These guys, I think they're looking for more ale. I don't think they're going for any more food. That would probably do them good.
Sure, we're gonna go upstairs and see T-Money real quick, but maybe we'll bring her back down and grab a bite real quick.
Sure.
Bed.
If you guys need anything, I'm here.
Thanks.
Hi. See you guys later.
As they're walking over towards Tessa's room, I'll comment to Trent that that was very well handled. If you're willing to promise you'd be more careful with this money, I'll hand them 20 gold in like a little pouch.
Sweet.
But that
Thanks.
is you can use that on whatever you wish. Whether it's be a cloak.
Go buy that Rolex.
Spending money, spending money.
Better be 20 than 500. So.
The
No. What's up?
when we were in Hillcrest proper,
Mm-hmm.
either in the manor that we went to or in the streets and stuff, did we happen to go by any like street vendors or food of any sort there?
Not at that time of night, no.
Okay. Okay, good. Because if I had seen food there, I probably would not have an appetite for food here.
Gotcha. Yeah, it seemed
would
kind of
like-
late. There wasn't really anything out in the street. You don't really know if that's much of a thing in that kind of a district either. Given,
Yeah.
your past, you know that nobles are a little bit less for street food than they are fine dining, so...
I'm just a little bit upset that I didn't get invited to eat with the Mercoonsons, but
So I'll
But I
approach
guess,
Tessa's door and knock.
I'm going to rip the door open. I have not bothered washing any of the blood off.
Why are you in my room, not your room? As I look behind me towards my room that you came out of.
But I heard the knocking, right?
Surprise, motherfucker! Yeah, she, you would have heard them knocking on a different door, and you can
where's
tell...
my money? Why are you... Wait,
Not now, Trent. Where's Martin?
He has not returned from his.
Guys, get inside. I'm
Errands,
covered in
but-
blood. Come on.
Okay.
I figured I'd wait here because I thought you'd go to your room first.
The sound of partying people drowns out into the background as you four huddle into the room and close the door behind you.
Show her.
Well,
Trent?
Trent, let
I
us
think
hear.
what I have
what
is a
Tessa
little
has.
more important than whatever you have right now.
And I kind of indicate towards Tessa's hands that are just covered in blood at the moment.
I didn't kill Kane, first off.
I was worried there for a moment.
No, but he did almost die. And I'm going to literally just explain every single thing that happened in the entire night, like from beginning to end, of how the person saw me ran into an alley too.
Okay. In a very long-winded explanation, having a tangent here and there, Tessa talks about, meeting Kane, his backstory, everything like that, and then, and the cake that was at that place was so good, and then,
Oh, yeah.
so then we were in the street, and then these guys came up, and she, tells you the whole thing, no details spared.
Is there anything important that I was not here for that I now know? Because...
Before you got here, she went on a date with Kane. They had a decent time. She did hear about a cave nearby that might have a folk legend that she would be interested in.
Okay.
And then on the way back, they ran into some ruffians in the street because they wanted to go
I
for
was
an
there
evening
for
walk. Yeah.
Cool.
A cave hag sounds a bit dangerous, given our current circumstances. But
Right, but what if there's really no cave hag and we can just kinda... Well, okay.
If there is a
If
cave
I-
hag, we should kill it.
Yeah, but if I can get him away for the day, then there's only one person guarding Castle Morgan. Do you know what I
it could
mean?
be- it
I'm
could
sure
be a way
there's
to-
other guards other than just the two of them. If he's away for the day, he'll probably just get someone to sub in.
Trent has already scouted their numbers. At least 5 were there last time.
Interesting. Yeah, what I know is that Castle Morgan has all the guards living in the same house with him too, because you can't do it at night.
Now, at this
Yeah.
point, Merton, you've been wandering through town, and you found what you think is going to be the best ambush spot possible. There's a restaurant that has a couple of little alleyways nearby, and next to it is like a butcher's shop. And in the back alley there, you can think of a few ways to kind of work the balconies that overhang and the little crates nearby into a possible ambush point.
Is it a natural walking path or somewhere I'd kind of have to lead him?
It looks like a side road, but it's like an industrial road, kind of. So it's better than an alleyway, but it's not like as natural as going down a normal road. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can probably just persuade him.
Okay.
That's
So,
something good to know.
Are you headed back to Ursa's afterwards?
Yeah, once I walk it and survey the area and I'm confident
Okay.
that then I will go back, yeah.
You give the place a look and case it out, and eventually head back to Ursa's. And when you step inside, you find that there's a interesting little scene outside. There is a couple of drunk people that are being interrogated by the guard, and when you step into the tavern, Cal has already put like a little close sign up saying they're not serving any more food, and he's sort of cleaning down what looks like a badly damaged and stained table over in the corner, and he kind of looks over to you and he goes, "Oh, Merton, how's it going?"
I'll give him a nice big smile. Having a good day there, Cal?
Yeah, made some money, a little bit of property damage, but nothing that the evening's service won't pay for. Your friends came in, by the way. I think I saw him go down the hall a little while ago.
Doing their, do like a drinking motion with my hands.
I don't know.
Doing their business.
What was it? Tessa seemed like she was in a hurry and wanted to talk to Zakul for some reason. And then he came in, and I think they're chatting about something. I don't know.
Well, she did have a date tonight.
Did she?
Probably went well.
Well, I would explain it. She was dressed up.
She was. Helped her pick out that pretty little dress.
Oh my fucking god.
He
I'll
gives
ask
you
her
like
how it went.
a nod while he's kind of wiping down the table, and before he goes back to his work, he just goes, "Good taste." And then he just like continues to clean the table.
Well, enjoy your evening. I'll like nod at the people still there. There was people still there, right?
No, they're all outside being
Oh, they all
interrogated by
left.
the guard.
Oh, okay.
Hi. See you later, Merton.
Have a good one, Cal.
After we got filled in upstairs, could I have persuaded the party to go down for dinner, considering he
Sure.
told us they're serving dinner? And
Yep.
probably meet right
You
now.
guys are chit-chatting over there, and eventually hear footsteps coming down the hall. You remember about the food, but if any of you guys open the door, you'll see that it's Merton who's coming down instead.
Hey,
Bring
Merton,
him in.
what's up, homie?
Hey, turn around before you go down. Come on, I'll like spread my arms and turn them right back around.
Yeah, Martin, I got some stuff to tell you.
Yeah, food can wait.
I'll look at Tessa.
What? I got
Can
stuff.
food wait?
It can wait. I got.
Or you can go eat and catch me
Guys,
back
hold
up.
on.
I'll unpack. You guys go eat.
I'll ask Cal if I can bring the food up here.
Yeah, we don't want to hold up Cal. He's cleaning up. Why don't you go get some food and bring it back up? Or eat down there.
I mean, that's okay, right? Like, a tavern would be okay with us bringing food up to the room inside of his
You can go ask him.
So
I'm going to settle in.
Okay. So you find a place to sit
Oh.
in that room where everyone's kind of holding this meeting. And so cool, you go down the hall and find Cal there cleaning the place up.
Patron Cal.
Hey,
I'm
Zakul.
wondering if we could have our provisions upstairs. We have something.
Oh, this too. Yep. No, I still have that. Lousy
I could
guys didn't
carry it
finish the
up
whole
if
thing.
you have a few bowls.
You know what? Yeah, give me here. And he kind of like leaves the table, goes and disappears into the kitchen door. And when he comes back, he hands you a pot, and you can see that the pot is like a quarter full at the bottom with a whole bunch of stew. And he puts 4 bowls and a bunch of spoons on the counter, and goes, "Hey, there you go. Just get him back to me. Put him on the counter. I'm gonna be cleaning this up for a while." And you see he points over to where those drunk people were, and there's like a broken chair and like a bunch of stuff all over the place.
Can I
Will do.
tell Martin everything while Zakul gets dinner? Sorry.
Sure,
And
yeah.
And I turn towards Cal and say, if you have any trouble with those, I'll be happy to throw them in the streets for you.
Nothing I can't handle. Couple of drunks, they couldn't take me.
Affirmative. I'll see you late. I'll see you in the morning then, Patron Cal. I'll
Sounds
carry
good.
the soup upstairs.
Hey, get that pot back to me. It's been in my family for quite a while.
Add magical pot.
He goes back to cleaning, and you return to the room after Tessa gives a lengthy explanation to Merton about everything. And Trent, you get to hear the same story, and Zenkas, you too, all over again. And Zakul comes...
I'll try and chime in at certain parts where I remember the story very well. I'll be like, oh, and then I'm sure Tessa will like talk over me.
The door opens, Zakul comes in with food, and you guys get to eat.
Right.
Cave could be interesting. We could become the cave hag. Anyway,
I'm gonna, yeah.
we have plans to discuss.
Walking in on that, I go, well, closing the door behind me. What?
What did you say? What to? Oh, well. I mean, if we lure people there, it could work. Anyway, not the
Do
plan.
you believe you can convince Castle Morgan to have an expedition of guards?
No. Well, the Castle Morgan thing is handled. That's what we're going to discuss. So, grab a bowl, take a seat.
Okay,
Close the door.
I have been holding this in all night. So cool. Show them real quick. Just real quick what I got. 'Cause I did good, guys.
I grumble, and then, Trent seems to have secured a sizable monetary sum from House McCunzen for a future expedition with them. And
Really?
I pull out the gold bar and show it. That clearly shows the 500 in your direction.
Everybody is in between things. Merton has much to explain, and Tessa's finishing up her story and whatnot, but when Zakul pulls out this golden bar, the light from the lantern in the corner of the room casts upon it, and the room is almost filled with a dull, shiny, yellowish glow as a whole gold bar is produced from the bag.
Well, I'll be damned, Trent. Well
Did
done.
good, right?
Very good. That expedition was more worth it than we could have guessed.
And he has the key.
Does he?
He does.
Well, let's delay my story. I'm interested now. I have to know. Tell me about this.
So we went there, and he was very. Place was super fancy and super ornate, and he had all these guards and butlers and stuff that were showing us around. But we eventually got to the topic of like, is there any more family history there for him? And I told him that there was some stuff in the basement that we couldn't get into, and he totally bought it, that we hadn't been in the basement. But I also told him that that's why he needs to keep it low-key, because there are like signs of, down there, and don't want that getting out to the nobles. So he agreed that he's gonna hook us up. This is like a down payment, and then we're gonna go on that excursion and sort of act as guides. He's gonna bring like some trusted advisors, which I think we can, either use to our advantage or protect us from Hyprex beasts, sort of thing. And he's gonna show us into the door, and then we'll wing it from there.
Well, that sounds good.
But he's going to contact me here at Ursa's when his expedition team is ready.
Correct. If we're to guess that this will be in a few days, the timing will be correct to make your move on Castle Morgan, looking over towards Merton. Or are
Right,
you?
Kane might be here tomorrow morning for breakfast, so yeah. If you want to get a good look at him, go for it, Martin.
Well,
Did you tell him about our thing, money? And I'll like point to the tattoo on my shoulder.
No! God, no. I told him that we had.
Well, what
Go
if we're
around.
not here tomorrow morning?
I explained. I said we kind of chased the story, so I disappear from time to time.
Oh, that's smart.
can we still hear Cal cleaning? I just want to make sure he's not like listening in.
Yeah, there's like miscellaneous sounds from down there.
Okay, I'm keeping an eye on, or an ear on that.
Okay.
Okay, but that's pretty much my story. We're gonna have an expedition. We're gonna go back to Misty Town, show the Marcoons, and Bastion is his name. What a fucking name, right?
Good, good.
Trent,
That's good.
honestly, I was begging that we'd cross paths after we kind of killed those muggers, so you could have them.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened to them? They-
King kind of brought some guards to take them away because I had to, stabilize them. They were definitely dead. Which I might have slipped up on too.
Wait, you
I
can bring back the
recovered
dead now?
I'm pretty sure I used that when we, slaughtered Benevolence's group, didn't we? Yeah.
Right. I don't think they're actually dead. They're just
No,
on
it
the verge of
stabilizes
death.
them.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
It's
0 hit
just-
points.
Unconscious.
I didn't. Okay, yeah. Unconscious. I interchanged those two just because.
I'm just fucking with you, okay? Sorry.
Jesus Christ, Jimmy. Let it go
Um,
because it's your birthday.
Thanks.
Right, yeah, I just. Was
In
hoping
other news, Zakul has offered to be the group's treasurer, and
That's not
he's
necessary.
going to hold on to the gold bar until we can exchange it because it's really heavy.
I have something to broach with you on that subject, but let's go over what Paladin Merton has discovered and what I've
Right.
Yeah, let's quiet down. This will be hopefully the next thing we do. So, Tessa, the guard infiltration idea was good, but I don't think we'll actually need it. And
But
here's
he's
why.
really hot. I really want to keep him, guys.
Oh, you just want me to be able to
no,
transform
that was in
and-
case you need to.
Oh,
Like, if something goes south.
I raise a dragon brow or an eyebrow.
What if we don't have to kill him?
Can I roll insight to see if she's into him? By the way, she said he's really hot.
Sure.
But we don't have to kill him. I kind of hope.
Can I roll insight to see what Merton meant, what I think he meant?
have a pretty face around.
That is like a 14 insight.
She's
That is
kind of
not what I
into
meant.
it.
Let's see.
Oh, I was just joking.
I'm suddenly jealous of this card.
Suddenly. Oh no.
Look, here's the deal. I've been spending the whole day going over this plan, and it's the best plan. And that's what we're gonna do. We don't have to kill Kane. We don't have to do anything to Kane
Perfect.
because Castle and I, whenever it might be tomorrow, depending on how our night goes. Things, if days pass, whatever. But the next day, for us, I'll be going on a date with him. I have a place picked out, an ambush spot picked out. I'm gonna take him on a date. We're gonna walk home, and we're gonna strike, and that'll be that. And then we can go to this Misty Down thing and do whatever.
Wait. So. I don't want it to be curious because I was at Castle Morgan's looking for Castle Morgan in a story. Do you think I could skip out on the murdering so it doesn't look suspicious and
Well,
create
if
an
we're,
alibi and go on a date with Kane?
if we're hidden in the ambush spot. Which,
Well, you don't have to look like yourself. You can
Oh yeah.
go buy a hood or something
Oh,
else.
speaking of that, watch this. And I'm gonna cast Alter Self, and I want to look just like the guard that T-Bunny has a crush on.
Oh, I can. Oh, do I have another spell slot left? No.
Oh, that's what he looks like.
Trent
Oh,
takes
here,
on the
let me-
form of one of the guards that seems to spend a lot of time outside playing cards
do.
there.
Here, let me try.
Can I
Uh,
you cast disguise self to look like Trent?
Yeah, you can try and mimic it with disguise self. Now there are 2 of this handsome guard in the room with you guys.
Yeah, but watch this. I know how disguise self works, right? Because I studied magic and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say
I'll
that's
walk
pretty
over
basic.
and like try and touch Tessa, just like
Mhm.
on the shoulder.
Can I dodge, please?
Sure.
Please.
Make a dexterity saving throw against, let's say, Trent's attack
Oh,
to
an
touch you.
11.
Acrobatics
Fuck.
or athletics.
Mine
Mine's an 11. He
is
beat me.
17.
Okay. Yeah, so you reach out, she tries to lean back, and you poke her shoulder, and that seems to be enough to dispel the illusion, and the form disappears.
But look, mine is. I'm still him.
I wasn't gonna use it seriously, Trent. You know, just ruin the fun.
Can you do that on other people?
No, just on myself, unfortunately.
Everyone wants
I
to
think,
be the guard.
right?
I reach over and I pinch Trent in the face. Well, not illusions.
It feels real, and it doesn't disappear.
Ow, dude, your hands are pretty scaly. That actually hurt.
Well, your skills are pretty.
As I like
solid.
rub it where it was, I want to like use alter self to change right there to like have like a big bruise now. God, dude, look at that.
Trent, why are you so delicate like a flower?
Perhaps you should train. Perhaps you should train a little bit harder and have a thicker skin.
Oh, that wasn't nice.
As he says, have a thicker skin, I want to be a dragonborn. Just like, it's a cool.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this requires successive casts.
No, it says
Is it-
when you cast the spell, you can choose one of the options. While the spell lasts, you can end one option as an action to gain the benefits of a different one.
Ah, okay.
So it's, I mean, it takes like 6 seconds for me to
Yeah.
transform each time, but during the hour, I can keep changing form.
Gotcha. Very cool. Okay, so in a moment later, you watch as Trent's guard-like features change and warp into that of a dragonborn standing in front of you.
I immediately reach over and, like a dragonborn type of feat of strength that dragonborns probably do to each other, like just pick him up because he's probably still weak.
Sure. You find that his weight has not changed, and you easily lift him, despite how he looks.
Oh, does his weight not change at all?
I don't think
Nope.
so. No.
Oh,
It just, I just look different.
Yeah, you're surprised. You almost like throw him over
Actually-
you when you pick him up back.
Hold on, actually, Illusion, now that I'm looking at the spell, it says change appearance. You transform your appearance, you decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features. So
Oh,
I probably
snap.
would have picked an appropriate weight.
Okay. Yeah. So no, it is convincing then. Sorry, we don't see a lot of alter self use.
Yeah, but it's a really cool spell, and I'm also gonna give myself a dragonborn voice. I will join you in talking like this.
so I pick up Trent and it's like, this is fairly convincing.
Thank
No
you,
longer a hatchling.
fellow dragonborn. It is good to be.
Look, Trent, you can be your own date sometimes too.
What's that, Tessa? You said I could be my own date?
Right.
You think I have trouble getting dates?
Yeah. I'm gonna go to my room.
A
I'll take
cricket
bath.
sounds off beyond the window.
Wait, before you leave there, Tessa, I do have one more subject to broach. And I look over towards Trent and it's like, it may not be appropriate to be a dragon during this conversation coming up, but feel free to. Now, as you may know, I am a follower or a devout of Azun, and he is willing to trade valuables for other said valuables, and you can use me to commune with him because he would definitely be interested in something like this. Holding up the gold bar or the bag that has the gold bar that not revealing it.
I'll
If
resume
you-
my normal form.
If you, as a party, wish to commune with the King of Dragons, the god among gods, then I can make that happen tonight. For something that may be a boon for the party, I think this is a decision you guys can make together. But I'm more than happy to make this connection.
Well, the bar was sort of a party gift anyway, and I was planning on sharing it with you guys. I'm cool with trading it for something. I mean, Zakul already gave me a little bit of my share of the gold, so if you guys want to trade this, see what we can get for it. I'm down. Do we get to like? Is it sort of like a bartering thing? Like, do we get to see what he's going to offer, or do we give it to them and then he gives us something random?
Oh. So cool. You would know that if you were to give this up free of charge, you could do so for your god's favor, but you could also barter it for something, in which case there probably would be an exchange of words to determine what that is.
Right. So I would prefer that, considering it's not my gold alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't just offer it up. If it was something I earned on my own, I would. Since it's someone else's property, I would definitely just be like, it would require an exchange of words, Trent. And the master, or the god, or my god, will. Maybe he has tons of things to offer in exchange for this, but it could be something simple as well. I cannot say.
Well, my vote is.
Sorry.
Can we go over this castle thing again? Trent,
Oh.
what are you doing when you do that? Because that's not how my god taught me. That seems better.
Oh, I'll flip in through my spellbook to the spell alter self.
Sure.
Well, I can't read it, right?
I'll describe the various steps of alter self, and
I'd say you could definitely, tell him the limitations of the spell and everything.
Mhm.
So if you go
Right.
and look at the
Motherfucker stole
Grimoire
my
page,
gimmick.
you know how it works.
Can I tell Zakul and Draconic that doesn't matter what he does, just I'll act as if I never had it, so it doesn't matter.
But the downside is I can only do it twice a day, and it only lasts an hour each time. And if I get hit, like if I take damage, there's a chance that I'll just like lose my concentration. I'm sure you know how concentration works.
Do I? I don't actually.
Yes.
As a warlock, you have no idea.
Well, I was gonna say it might be safer to send you because I have been worried about him potentially touching me, but
You mean I get to be, and I will assume the form that I had seen of the red-haired lady.
I'll look over towards Merton and shake my head vigorously left and right. I don't
Oh.
believe that is the wisest decision, Paladin Merton.
I'm gonna shake my head too.
well, I mean, I wish I could do the thing that he could do. Right? It's better.
It was like a southern accent, right?
Oh well, it seems like you could change your voice.
I'm asking out of character because I'm about to.
Yes, it was a southern accent. Victoria.
It was like, "Hey there, Castle. How you doing today?"
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
The only problem I could see is that if I do this, it'll only last for 2 hours. So if we go on a longer date, then there's a chance that you might have to sub in at some point. Maybe I'll excuse myself to freshen up a bit, and you'd have to tag in.
Well, I was kind of thinking the opposite. Because he's going to be touching you later on in the evening. Not at the beginning.
My eyes go really wide. Begin to unchain.
Trent has a startling realization.
Just on the walk home, just like an arm, just something like that. Look, I'd happily do it.
I mean, it's possible. It doesn't seem like anybody other than you trusts me, though, Murdy.
Paladin Merton, I cannot agree with another man stroking Trent's tail scales in such a manner.
I can. I would love to do that.
Voting whether or
I'm
not to
gonna-
pimp your friend.
I'm
Alright,
gonna go
everybody.
take a bath, because I'm still.
I need to talk to this. I need to talk to Trent about this.
Okay. So you head off down towards the lavatory at the end of the hall there, and go to get fixed up and everything, and clean all the blood from your hands. And
Wait, T-Money, what was your vote on the bar?
I said it in Draconic, so you should be able to understand.
Yeah, she said whatever is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's as if I never had it, so.
Okay. Leaving the four of you in the room there.
Hmm.
Well, are we ironing out the details here? For this, or possibly Azun could give us a boon that could be used in this operation as well. That could change our plans. I can begin the ritual to commune with him.
Our plan is strong. We just need to decide.
Well, ambushing him sounds strong, but some contingencies in case it doesn't go exactly as planned may be a good idea.
Not sure I know what you're referring to.
If you cannot get the target by himself to the ambush point, then a contingency plan to still accomplish, our mission may be necessary.
I'm not worried about once we get him to the alley. I'm worried about getting there.
I'm not worried about that either. I'm telling you, what if he doesn't come? Then we need to have an alternative plan.
Oh, honey, he'll come.
What?
Oh!
Phrasing.
Sorry, I had to.
Phrasing.
Is he coming for you or for? I look over towards Trent.
Well, that's the problem. See, Trent's not exactly as persuasive as me.
I would agree with that.
I can bend words a little bit. I had to do a lot of brown nosing as a noble.
I don't believe the same skills apply to wooing a man or wooing a human male. Unless that's what you did as a youth in the Magic Academy.
No.
Look, I'm sure I can take him on a date, have dinner, and walk home without touching. He seemed kind of like a gentleman. I don't think he's going to go grabbing at me. I mean, the
Also
original.
gotta be careful if there's
I was
an
confident
element-
with the original plan. It's only seeing, Trent's. I don't know. Like I thought you learned it from me, but then it was like better. I don't know
How
how you
about
learned
this
that.
then? Give us the ambush location, and then Trent and I and Zenkis here could check it out, determine what else we could do, and to ensure our chances of victory.
Yeah, no, I checked it out. It's strong. You just need to wait there for me to come by, and then, pretend to go after me. He will defend me, and I will turn against him. It's
If we're
simple.
doing this in the middle of the city,
It's not in the middle
we
of the
should be-
city. I picked an appropriate location.
so we should expect no guards to come as reinforcement.
No. Unless for some reason he's taking them with him on his date, which I will persuade him otherwise.
Okay. That is the
While we
plan
think
for
about that, maybe we should see what we get from Izun. Maybe it'll be something that helps, or, maybe it won't, but we won't know until we try.
You're going to hold a ritual? Is it cool?
Sure.
Is it?
I
It's gonna
will
disturb
start setting up the,
Cal?
Oh wait, like what would this entail for me to commune with Azun?
You could possibly just, set up a ritual, sit down with your holy symbol and all that. Your best chance would be to go to some place that's holy. So the holier the site, the better. So that could be, shrine. A step above that would be like a temple, a grand temple above that sort of thing.
Are there basilicas to Izun here in Hillcrest?
I
There's
shake my head and say we cannot go to another church of Azun. Our branches do not work in that fashion. They will attack us if we go there.
Oh,
As this, and I kind of indicate towards my bar of gold, is valuable enough that they would want to offer to Izun themselves.
gotcha.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you have a church that you belong to, which
It's
is
in Windray.
very, yeah,
unfortunately.
exactly, very far away from here, potentially, or very close. Who knows? You don't actually know where it is. You haven't checked the Windray's location in a long time.
I wouldn't be able to use Izun's own location. I think I would have to do it somewhere, either in the open or, if it's possible, right here in the room.
Sure, you could try.
Do we, are there any, like, generic holy places here? Like, just like an altar or something on a street corner? That's, like, non-denominational?
No, all of the altars are to some god. Sometimes groups of them, but they're all to some god.
Okay.
I don't think the other gods appreciate us communing on their altar to another. It may be best just to do it here, as I kind of point towards a location where I do my prayers in the morning,
Sure.
not just inside my room, and like just do it here and have you guys all present. So what would I need to do here? Like roll or something?
I would say make for me a wisdom roll, please.
Wisdom is +0.
Okay. So you take a seat and go ahead and lay out this this little offering that you have. Speak a couple of prayers and hope that your god is paying attention at that time, but nothing seems to happen. And you find that this finishes. You say your prayers, and no one comes. The bar is just sitting there.
Is my prayer saying this is for a trade? Or like is this
Yes.
like the same type of prayer? Okay, so the Zune would be aware that it's not just a pure offering.
Mm-hmm.
Zune appears uninterested in a trade with this lowly one at this time. Perhaps I must build more favor with offerings before that.
Well, it was worth a shot. At least we
Cool.
still have the bar. At least it's not gone.
It could still be used towards other things within town that may help us.
Well, if there's nothing else we want to get done tonight, I want to go shopping in the morning.
I had one more idea. Instead of waiting till after dinner, this is back to the Morgan thing. Instead of picking him up, walking him there, having dinner, walking back, I could just walk him there through the alley. And that would cut out a lot of potential to be found out. There would be no witnesses to see us have dinner. I'd be able to more easily direct him there because I'm leading him to a tavern. We're not coming home. He would know the way home, but not the way there.
Are you already arranging this once the sun is set? Because you need to be at the location and waiting for this to go.
Yeah, well, I'll see him in the day and tell him that we're gonna have a date at night, and then at night we'll get in position. I'll go get him, and I'll walk right back.
You know, it could increase your chances of things going well if Victoria was someone that was known around the town. You might want to,
He
go to a
already
couple
knows me.
shops or
It's
something.
not necessary though.
No, he knows you, but once the murder happens, the guards are going to suspect Victoria.
And they're never gonna see her again.
Right, but if they go asking around and realize that no one has seen her other than him and you guys, they're going to expect some sort of foul play. They're not going to expect she just rolled into town, killed him, and then rolled out. If you were someone that, a couple of shopkeepers had seen or something, it might lend more merit to the them spending their time looking for her rather than looking for magic users.
I turn and look towards Zenkis and say, perhaps you could use your pointing towards his head mind things to perhaps create some confusion for the guards or even for Castle.
Maybe.
I think you're just complicating it. It's very simple.
Well, we're talking about the after part of this operation. I think your plan as it is fine. We just need to make sure we're all out clean. And let's say, for example, someone is caught or captured. Is there a way to get us out of town before everyone is captured and arrested?
There's no way to lead it back to us. As long as we do it clean and quick and get out of there.
Not leading. I mean, if it isn't clean and quick, is what I'm saying. Not everything goes perfectly in this world, as you may know, Paul and Merton.
It can, if you plan correctly.
That's what we're doing right now. Now, from this alleyway, do we have... Is this like a straight... Like, he gave us the location of the alleyway, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay, so is this, like, close enough to the edge of town that we could actually make a run for it if things were bad?
It'd definitely be a few blocks.
But, like, through, like, some city gate? Or anything like
There's
that?
no city
Like,
gate
closed
on the
off?
outskirts of Hillcrest. It's just an opening into the wilderness. So if you really had to run it, you probably could. You're in that area, but you're not on the very outside.
Okay. So we'll, if things go south, looking over towards Merton, just in case, then we could avoid the road, get into the wilderness, meet up here as a location to either hole up and wait, and then someone else would get a message to those who are in town or separated or whatnot to meet out, and let's leave for this.
If we're really worried, we can wait
Museum
until you plan that expedition with the Mercoonsons, so we know when we're supposed to go there with them, and then we can do this. So even if it goes bad, we have the next step to go on with.
Well, that would be preferred, but unfortunately, and I kind of indicate towards my tattoo, so time may not necessarily be on our side. So I think this
That's
plan
true.
has to
How
be
are we going to
pushed.
get there with them anyway? We just need a date to meet them there.
Ideally, we meet the Mercoons at the expedition site rather than departing from here together. That way we can avoid any troubles.
It's perfect. This plan isn't going to go into effect for at least another day. You have all of tomorrow to go talk to the Mercoonsons, or possibly longer.
Okay.
We can wait. There's nothing wrong with waiting a few days.
Okay.
Trent, are you okay with sending a note to the Mercoonsons tomorrow?
Tomorrow? To
How about just having us meet them there rather than departing together?
I think it's a little safer to go there with them because of the beasts. I'm okay with telling them about the Great Souls aspect. But if you guys would rather keep that information private, then I think we can send them a note. Although it might be
You can go tell them so that if we meet them there, they wait for us, or vice versa.
Right. I think disclosing that information may be important for...
I probably should have thought about that at the time.
Well, you have the day to go talk to them tomorrow. We have things to do.
Let us know when you want this ambush set up, and we'll be there.
It won't be tomorrow. That's too rushed. We'll wait.
We'll
Hey,
let a little more reconnaissance.
if I'm going into the city proper tomorrow, is there any way I could get a little bit more of that gold?
I'll be coming with you.
Okay. I just think that, if I am going to be going on a venture with them as a noble, I should maybe look the part a little bit more.
Seems like you did well enough the first time.
The cloak.
I believe
Cloak.
they understand. that you are, in fact, the adventuring noble. So, gear that is appropriate for survival. And hopefully, we'll get our supplies ready tomorrow in case we have to leave.
If you go off spending all the gold they just gave you in one day, they're gonna notice your new clothes, and if they know you're just spending it on that, they might not
That would be
respect you as
so
much.
funny. You just come back and you just like gold chains, like
I'm
the new
wearing
jacket.
literally 500 gold, like the exact amount he gave me. I'm wearing in
If
clothes to the meeting.
if
Your
you're
hair's
trying to
done up and
pretend,
stuff. Just like
if you're trying to pretend like a rich person who knows what they're doing, going and doing that would do the opposite for you.
Right, but we'll collect Tessa and Zenkis tomorrow about, or at the very least Zenkis, to get supplies ready for the party. Is there anything
Alicia.
you wanted around
When
town?
Oh, sorry, go for it.
I'll take like a shopping list from everyone so we can pick up stuff around town.
Sure,
and
yeah,
get
absolutely.
rations and everything ready.
What was your
Yeah, if
question?
there's
there?
anything you guys want, I think buying it in the city, it's going to be more expensive, but you'll probably get better quality than buying things around here. If you want a new dress for your date,
Yeah, I probably shouldn't wear the same exact thing, huh? Pick me up a nice dress. Same style, but different.
I'd like to think that Merton's character arc goes from being a man hunting Chad Thundercock to actually just becoming a prolific crossdresser. Okay, so you guys do a little bit of chit-chatting and really just hash out all it is that's happened. There's been so much that's gone down the last few days. So many plots, who knows what, who's going to be where, what's going on, how are we going to do this. By the time that you guys have finished talking here, it's quite late, and there's little to no light outside beyond the window, and you guys are starting to feel it too. Yawns start to make their way into the conversation and everything like that. You guys ready to call it a night?
Well, it's like we said, we have days before things will happen, so we can discuss tomorrow. Let's all get some rest.
Okay. People go to their respective rooms. One by one, you tuck away and go to bed. And let's see here.
I am holding the orb as I go to sleep, by the way.
Okay. Just in case. You never know. Tessa, you're the first to wake the next day. Everybody gets a long rest. Refresh your health and your spell slots and all.
Can I roll my
Dibs?
divinities?
Please do. Also, I forgot. Oh, shit.
Yes!
Nice.
Yes!
Oh, baby, it's 20.
So, I have a question to ask. Did one of you guys go down last week?
No.
I don't
No.
think so.
I
We
don't-
haven't done combat.
We haven't,
No,
We
right.
haven't-
I'm thinking of a
we
different
haven't
group.
fought since Benevolence.
Okay.
We did 2 combat
Oh
group.
shit, it was a 20 and a 9, right?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
20 and a 9.
And since Tessa ran into people in the street. But
Right.
anyway,
This session.
you're the first to wake there, Tessa. What do you want to do? You get up, you're feeling nice and rested.
Huh.
It's kind of like a... It's sort of different beyond your window there. You see a lot more light than usual coming through the curtain.
Wait, so I'm looking outside the window and I see it looks different?
No, you're waking up, you're in bed, kind of just rubbing the sleep out of your eyes. And from the window over there, you can see that there's a large amount of light coming in through the curtain.
Can I guess get dressed enough and then stand over to the window, see what's going on?
Sure. You throw on some clothes and go and check things out. Moving the curtain to the side, you see that outside, the sun is rising off in the distance. And as it does so, it's not like a spring sun, but more like a summer sun. Like there's a beautiful clear sky, no clouds about, and it burns brightly off in the distance, heralding a new day.
It's the summer, guys.
I'm going to fucking book it to Zakul, Mern, and everyone's room respectively and wake them up.
Okay. You guys gradually wake up to the sound of frantic footsteps. Zencasters knocks on your doors. You're told to wake up, and then Merton, and then Zakul, and Trent. You guys all
Calm
get
down. We
That's right,
expected
that's
this. Calm down.
No, I would have had a date with that guy.
You should know not to make dates when you are of this type of person, right? You can't be surprised anymore. Nothing's
I
changed.
think we missed
Move on.
expedition.
You guys are gathering in the hallway and, you know, at the edge of your rooms, kind of putting on your clothes, things like that. Tessa's in a start, and you guys are, you know, starting your days as well. Seems that this
I'll
is
go
falling
find
to
out
you.
what day it is. Don't worry.
The sound of Cal can be heard from down the hall and around the corner into the main room. It seems like he's wandering around in the tavern's main area, and at some point you guys hear in like a low whisper, as there's very little noise in the building at all, just him saying, "What the hell?"
Don't be alarmed, Cal. What day is it?
He kind of calls back down the hallway. "What's that?"
What day is it?
"Oh, what is it?" He kind of pauses for a moment, and you hear him flick around with some papers. And then he calls back to you, and he tells you, 66th of spring.
What day was it?
Oh, have to look.
What'd you say, Z?
Hold on, I have to look.
We need to start keeping this in a note,
Yeah, like we used to do.
Would we remember what day it was, Lucian? / do you know?
Yeah, I've got them all here. Your last day would have been the 52nd. So more than 10 days has gone by. 14 days.
That's alright.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
It's only been 14 days. Thanks, Cal. We'll see you in a minute. We're coming down.
Hey, no problem.
We all heard him say, like, what the hell, right?
Yeah, I was just
Uh-huh.
about to ask about that.
I'm gonna make my way out of my room and head to Cal.
Well,
Well, sure.
hard to get used to people disappearing for 14 days. Probably.
So this is the main portion of the shop here, and Cal's kind of, you know, over in the corner by his bar as usual. Wait, do I have? What the fuck is all that? Yeah, okay. You guys can put yourselves wherever you want to be. Put yourselves up at the bar or at a table or something. This is the exit here, and this is like the back hallway. Okay. You guys make your way into the room, and you find that Cal is looking at a scroll. It looks kind of tattered, and you guys recognize it as the sort of notices that they throw around town. And it's definitely not like, you know, a carefully put together note that somebody has left, just something that a guard has stamped. There's even a nail there that he's kind of holding in his hand, likely what was used to hold it to the door. And he's just reading the thing over intently. "Oh, I'll have food soon." And you can see he doesn't even look up as he's kind of staring at the paper.
Is everything okay there?
Yeah,
Viral insight?
please do.
How long do we usually wait before paying Cal?
I think end of the month you always ask.
Right
Oh,
now,
wow.
you're just kind of winging it.
That is a nat 1 insight.
Yeah, you don't really know what's going on with Cal. Maybe something's up, maybe it's not. It's up to you to guess.
I'll walk over the counter. Cal, you're not even looking up. Something's on your mind.
Oh, sorry. He kind of like puts the thing face down on the counter and steps over. "What can I get you guys?"
Has anything come from
Oh,
Crest
yes.
proper?
No, I do have some notes for you guys. Sorry, got caught up in something. Let me see here. And he kind of like fiddles with the cupboard behind the desk, and then he turns
Is he
back to you
looking
guys.
away from the note?
Yes.
Lean over the counter and read it.
Is it far enough
It's face,
away
it's
from
face down.
It's right in front of you, just face down.
Okay, never mind then.
He
I want to flip it over so bad. I think Trent wants to flip it over so bad too.
there's
I'm
like a
not-
hand, like, you know, quivering, getting closer towards it.
My mage hand just appears next to it. It's like shaking.
It's doing like a little, you know, like finger stick kind of walk over towards it, and
Yeah.
then slowly tippy toes when it gets closer. Anyway, Cal comes back from the cupboard there, and he hands over a piece of paper, not to you guys. He kind of holds it in his hand and waves it towards the table, and he says, "Oh, Tessa, this came for you.
Oh.
Days back. I think it's pretty old at this point.
I'm gonna run and grab it.
You see
Someone
just a
missed
little
your
folded
day.
note. There's no, wax on it or anything like that. Merton gives a knowing sigh, and as you open it up, you find, sure enough, it's a letter signed by Kane, and he says, "Hey, I came by, and you were busy." Or Cal says that you were out on a mission, so I understand how work is. But anyway, I had a good time, like I said, and if you wanna maybe go out again, well, you know where to find me.
What time of day is it?
It is early in the morning.
Guys?
What's up, T-Money?
I'll be back.
You need
I'm
me
gonna
to
crumple the note up
escort
and
you?
stick it in my pocket. No.
Tessa, before, please, wait. We need to. Are you already out the room, or are you
No, I haven't
actually
left
still-
yet. Because
Okay.
if you told me to wait, I would have waited.
Tessa, we need to figure out if this expedition is leaving soon.
Right,
from
I'll be
Greenland,
back
so
really soon. I just need to check on something. Or
we may have. Okay.
I promise, I will come back after I explain myself.
Hey, before you go out there, Cal kind of calls over to you, and then he flips the page and shows you. He says, "Be careful." And you can see that on the paper, it's an official notice from the city guard, and says that thieves in town are becoming more and more bold. Guard crackdowns are happening. Shop owners are advised to keep their wares hidden and away. There are a number of reported incidents, and the city has taken notice.
Oh yeah, thanks, Cal. I think I was on a date with the guard the other couple of nights ago and we got attacked by them.
Looks like there's more of that happening.
The slightest of eyebrow raises.
Got this notice just this morning.
Alright, thanks, Cal.
They wouldn't be so bold as to storm into your tavern, would they?
Well, I keep all my money in a locked box, so I'd hope not. But I mean, it says here, fuck, there's a lot of stuff. Look at this, and he puts the paper down, and he starts kind of mousing over some of it, and he goes, there's a bank robbery recently. Somebody took a pistol worth a few hundred gold. This is crazy stuff.
Oh my god.
I know exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Cal. If anyone gives you trouble, like, you can come to us, right? We'll help you out. Like, no questions asked.
Like you.
Tess has already proven that we can handle some ruffians here and there.
Well, that's good to know. I appreciate the offer, Trent. Are you saying that, like, you could, be guards or something?
If anybody comes sticking their nose in here and they look like they're up to no good.
I dragged Trent away before he starts promising our party to a life of guarding.
I think he's just trying to say we know
If
our
we're
way around.
Yeah.
The
If you
highway
need us, we're
rules.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. Okay. Well, hopefully that happens. Sometimes with these robberies, things go sideways. I mean, I don't want to talk all doom and gloom or anything, but I might not be able to call for your help.
That's true.
You guys have, like an extra blade or something?
Can
Well, I
I give
haven't
him my extra dagger?
I'll flip. Oh, I was gonna flip.
Yeah, I have a dagger.
I wanted to flip one out really skillfully.
So you guys
Not-
both
not-
produce a dagger, we'll say at the
Table
same
talk
time,
wise-
like in
Table
unison.
talk wise, doesn't he have benevolence as dagger?
No, I gave that. Oh yeah, I gave that to
You
Cal.
gave it to him, so he has it.
You can see what he pulls out to be his weapon of choice there, goes, because I don't know if this is going to cut it, and he pulls it like a meat cleaver. It's like this this huge looking meat cleaver that you would just like mangle creatures with. And,
I'll put my dagger away and be like, "That'll do."
I'll give Cal like a once over here. Does he look like more of a strong guy or a dex guy?
definitely the former.
Okay, he's a stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a burly guy.
Patron Cal, are you familiar with spears?
Sure.
I pull up the fishman spear that I collected a while ago and just hand it over to him.
He kind of holds the thing for a moment and then goes, "Yeah, this'll do." All right. And he kind of stows the thing and hides it underneath the counter.
I'll motion towards the note and be like, "Do you mind?"
Sure, yeah, take it. I mean, it's good warning, but I don't exactly have the money to hire on people like these guys are saying I should.
I'm just reading
Besides-
closer for anything interesting that maybe you missed.
He keeps going. He's like, I don't think they're going to come over here anyway, Good to be prepared. Kind of taps the spear there. But, I'm not expecting to see anybody robbing a tavern, especially when they're doing big game like this.
Can't always be too safe, Cal.
He gives you a nod. Now, Merton, as you're looking over the thing, you see, it's a notice from the guard. The official city guard has put out a warning that thieves in town are becoming more bold, and the guard is on it. They reassure people that peace will be obtained soon, but there's been a high number of high-profile cases, and the undercity elements are getting more and more bold, it's said, and so the city is responding with a crackdown.
It's from the
Alright.
official city guard, huh? And he said I could have it?
Yep, he says, take it, that's fine. So you can put
Nice.
that in your inventory if you want.
Something to study and forge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
Boards
why I
and
started
stuff.
laughing.
Nefariously, you take this paper, roll the thing up, and stow it in your backpack. The rest of the day is ahead of you guys, and before we get to that, what you choose to do on this 66th of spring, we're going to go to a brief 5-10 minute break. So we'll see you guys in a few.
Perfect.
I had to pee really bad. Thank
Yeah, I
you
have
for
to
your
go to the bathroom so bad. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. We'll readjourn soon.
Merton,
Yeah.
will you take us to the area that you want us to do there?
Yeah. Why don't you just ask me in the game?
BRB.
I can barely talk with my girlfriend playing Dragon Age.
Before I go, that's a good-ass game. Give her a high five.
I'll be right back.
Unless it's Dragon Age 2 or 3, in which case she's gay.
No, it's the first one, I think. She's playing in an Awakening right now.
That's a good-ass game. Alright, I'll BRB.
Okay, I'm back.
Will.
Yeah.
You should try and see if you can forge Trent's letter to, like, you know, the one that he was. Oh, you don't know it yet. Maybe we need to get him to talk about it more.
His
But
letter?
the letter to, like, help try and bypass the guards to get to the richer area.
Oh, did they give him one?
They said they were gonna. I think they gave him one.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, that'd be good. But he hasn't said anything about it, so.
Because maybe your fence will want it. Because that might be worth a lot to him.
Definitely. Yeah, I hope he brings it up. Or you could bring it up. Maybe you know, because you were there.
Yeah. Well, I was there for part of it. I need to rewatch the episode and see what he walked away. Like, he did walk away from us to talk to him in private, so I'm not sure which part Jimmy said in private.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I would like that a lot.
What's a good idea?
Getting the writ of passage
Um,
forged.
Giving.
yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a good trade for sure.
What's up?
Tell him your idea. Plan.
You know your rite of passage you got?
Mm-hmm.
Will
on.
can forge. So then we could, like, try and sell it to someone, like, so we can try and sell it to, like, his fence or something, or his fence might, like, want it to sneak someone into that area or something.
Or if we were looking for like immediate gold, there's tons of people that get turned away, and Illusion said there were like big merchants getting turned away at the gate.
Yeah, sell the forge to the merchants.
I think selling it directly is dangerous, though. To get in your face. Well, never mind you.
We
all
we
these
don't
guys
ever
will-
have to be anywhere in our actual face, which is the best part.
We have enough people to make themselves look like something else. It's
Victoria can sell it.
Oh, baby.
for killing Castle.
Kind of want to get a long sword and shield for Cal.
They didn't say we had to sacrifice this guy Castle, right? They just had to kill him.
No, just
I mean, we should.
Oh yeah, if we can manage to, sure.
Solutions back. I have something I need to ask him. Do we know what day Thursday group was on?
Nope.
Yeah.
We just know that they stole something, or was that?
I mean, this was in the newspaper, so it's already days after that.
Yeah. So they might hear about Castle dying.
Oh, as long as we're successful, nothing goes off.
Yeah, I really like things like that when like they intertwine. You mentioned stuff that other people did.
We both just end up doing the same quest to, like, go kill something, and it's just a competition to see which day gets there first.
That's what happened in last session. We actually took a bandit job from someone from a lower level party, which is why we rampaged them so hard. I mean, we were also a bunch of min-maxers with a fighter riding on a dire wolf monk.
Uh-huh. And Bick.
Pretty hard to put bandits up against the dire wolf monk fighter combo. oh, we can't hit the fighter, let's hit the direwolf, but the direwolf is dodging every round. What the fuck do we do?
What craziness that was.
You make a god come and start throwing punches that do 20 damage. That was a different time, but that shit was hilarious.
The zombie that like one-shot me with a punch.
Yeah, this fucking dude shows up. We're like, oh, it's not even armed. Just like throws a fucking punch. What the fuck?
Pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Since like we're in the not so like the non-noble area,
Mm-hmm.
is there people asking for money all the time?
Yeah,
Like
you
on the
see that pretty
streets?
often. Yep.
Do they get shooed away by the guard or not really?
Usually just
As,
ignored.
as long as they're not harming or
Mm-hmm.
people, they're all right. All right, thanks.
We'll start up again soon here.
Mm-hmm. Take your time. Okay.
Huh?
So I talked with my mom about my birthday present.
You mean your 3D printer?
The phone.
Oh, okay.
And well, it does have to do with the 3D printer too. And the apparently getting a new phone because of the way AT&T has changed their rules raises our bill like every
Yeah,
time we get
because
a new phone.
Because you have to pay monthly for the phone to pay it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since my phone like still works fine and I don't really have any issues with it, instead of getting that, she's gonna give me some just like a straight chunk of cash, and I'm going to return this printer and get that the one that EG recommended.
Can you still return that one?
I don't know if I can return it or just I know I can exchange it still.
Yeah. Okay.
So I might just have
Just-
like a
If they ask, just be like, I bought it as a gift and they finally assembled it and it doesn't work. Then,
yeah.
they'll explain the extended period of time.
And then I'm gonna get that one EG told me to get. It's like $350.
Okay.
That one should. At least I have EG to troubleshoot it with me.
Yeah, we'll find the instructions on the SD card it comes with.
Well, that one, the one EG got only has like 3 parts to put together.
Oh, okay. That's not
It's not like a full assembly like this one was.
bad. Okay.
Plus, I think that one is like a fine. You can do finer layers, so I can have more precise minis.
So what you're saying is soon I'm gonna have to get all the painting stuff out.
Yep.
Alright.
Or we can just have unpainted minis for D&D.
Fuck that, dude. I'm gonna customize my mini at least. I mean, I guess I'll customize anyone else's if they want, but I'll definitely customize mine, Jimmy. Yeah?
Lucian, can you remind me what the writ of passage? Is it just that I am allowed into the city? It doesn't have like any like.
Oh, anything for anybody else?
Right, I know it doesn't have anything for anyone else, but does it say like is it like a one-time use thing, or is it like this person is free to travel into the city under our invitation or something like that?
It doesn't have a date, like an expiry date on it, but it does detail when this was written, so you can see that
2 weeks ago I was, or
Exactly,
14
yeah.
days ago I was given.
So if you try to use this and the guard's like, yeah, this is from 5 years ago, but he might look the other way, whereas if you use it recently, right, it probably is going to be easier.
Cool.
That's a beautiful mini.
Oh wow.
Jimmy, I need that one. We have to fight that one.
I still want to play the levitate druid combo.
Oh, the Druid Octopus and Levitate Wizard or whatever?
Yeah, the UFO. The wizard levitates the druid who turns into an octopus and just goes around flinging people like a UFO.
You just become like a carnival ride. Okay, I'm ready. Are you guys good to go here?
Yeah.
I am set.
I'm also set.
There we go. Okay, welcome back, guys. Hope you had a delicious break and all that.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. That's a disgusting... I would still eat it, but that's a terrifying picture.
Are those
Yeah.
crab legs?
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, you guys can't see what I'm seeing. There's a thing.
There's a thing.
Discord. Trust me.
It was his face when he saw it. He's like, oh.
Yeah. So, let's see here. You guys are standing there at the bar, or seated at the bar. So cool, you stepped over to kind of grab Trent for a second, and Merton, you've pocketed this note and all. What do you guys want to get up to? What's going
I
down
am
today?
heading off for the gate, the city proper.
I believe Zencast asked to see the area, so show him that.
I will be escorting the Lord Goldenbrow.
Oh. I'll probably tell them that I'll meet them back at the... Well, I'll be back at tavern soon. I'm gonna go see Kane.
Ah, okay. You guys split off into your different directions there. And,
Be careful, there's thieves afoot. Party splits up.
yeah, exactly. You guys go into a few different areas, and, let's see here. Who's feeling lucky today?
Well, I already rolled 2 nat 20s back to back, so can't be me anymore.
Clan
Clan.
looks like he's feeling lucky.
Clan's ready.
Yeah.
No way, you're lucky.
Maybe
Believe in you, man. How bad could it be?
confidence
one
is
bit.
Really bad.
Not one bit, we all get destroyed.
So
And
close
this
to
is
20.
how Monday party wiped.
I swear to
All
God,
of a
Illusion, if
sudden-
it's me who gets jumped by thieves again, I'll be
Welcome
so
to the
upset.
All of
town.
us getting jumped. This is how Monday party
So
wiped.
upset.
Merton and Zencast, I need perception checks from you guys, please.
Woo!
Okay.
Wait, Merton. For some reason I really
19.
$13. 13.
Okay. Let's see here.
Oh no.
The two of you go wandering off in search of this place for the possible ambush. Sooner or later, you're traveling away from the tavern, not towards the walls, but instead towards a little bit of like a scarcely populated area. It's not the outskirts proper, but it's not quite as busy as the space around Ursa's Tavern or closer towards the gate. As you get off in that direction, you eventually come upon the building that it is Merton wants to use. You know, he points out the restaurant and the nearby alleyway and whatnot. And you guys can see here that during the middle of the day, it's kind of, it's getting busier. People are coming out. It starts off early in the morning and there's nobody on the street, but by the time you guys reach your destination a little while later, people are already kind of coming and going. And I need to know what you guys have in your inventory.
Would it be fair to say that since we just got the thief thing, we were a little more on guard?
No, you guys just went out the door. You even split up. I'd like to know what you guys have in your inventory, please.
I fucking love this one. so
Disguise kit, set of fine clothes, armor, dagger, forge kit, pen and ink, parchment.
How about
signet
coin?
ring. I have coin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
much.
How much?
He wants to know how much.
I have 50 gold
50
and
gold.
5 silver.
Okay. How about you, Zenkas? What do you got?
Leather brown diary, ink, pen, and a quill,
Okay.
an amulet of a holy symbol. I got some rations. I have traveler's
What about
clothes.
gold?
I have a dagger and I have a scimitar.
Simskimanimidar.
I have the book from my grandfather, which you're now gonna probably want to steal, and I have 39 gold.
Okay. I'd like the two of you to roll contested luck checks, please.
Oh baby.
Someone's getting robbed.
$14.
That is
Okay.
right.
The two of you are standing outside of the thing and kind of, keeping hush-hush, pointing out some different parts. And as you can see, Zenkas, yeah, that balcony does look like a really good vantage point. You could hide up there easily with just like a chair or a crate, or maybe play it off like you were just somebody sitting out for a nice evening smoke or something like that. And as you guys are sitting there, eventually something happens. The two of you decide to, kind of move closer for an even closer look. And as you step forward, Zenkas, there's a change in weight almost in your gear. And as you kind of paw around, you realize that your 39 gold is missing, and the pouch that holds it too is gone.
Didn't know you guys entered Paris.
A van, out of nowhere, suddenly.
Jesus.
His reaction is very calm. If only he screamed, maybe I could have helped him. But he said nothing.
Do you
I just-
react in any sort of way, Zenkas?
Yeah, I'm looking around trying to see if I see anyone moving away from me quickly, and I'm saying in Merton's head, "Someone just took my gold."
Okay. You
I'll
hear his
look right
voice in your
away.
head, and you can see clearly that Zenkas is looking up and down the road.
We just heard there's thieves. I know all about thieves.
If only
I'm
you had
looking
me and Trent.
right away.
I'd like
Big
the two of
couple.
you to roll perception checks, please.
I'll say in Thieves' Camp really loudly, unless you want this to end badly, you return that now.
Okay. You just, pause for a moment. Why? What a great day it is today. If only the birds were yellower or something like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of give the warning.
No, perception of the 5.
19.
Okay. You look around and you see people who look like they might be in a hurry. There's a woman over there who's shuffling off with a bunch of goods that seem to have been purchased from a nearby market, as well as somebody else who's got a horse with him that seems to be quite antsy, and he's trying to sort of quiet down the thing. Not everybody is moving at a leisurely pace, but you don't see anyone that strikes you as your prospective thief. Well, you guys
we
just
were
stand there
warned-
for a moment.
warned.
We're gonna cut over to a different group.
Because we now get robbed.
Over to Zakul and Trent. You guys make your way over towards the main gate, and by the time that you get up there, it is quite busy, and you also notice something else. A lot of people have gotten here, even before like the very early morning, to just line up and wait for the gate. And you see what looks like an hour worth of just sitting ahead of you as all these caravans and merchants are all set up. You get into line, or are you gonna go do something else?
As
Look
far as
over
I
to-
know, there's no way to skip the line, right? Like, there's no VIP access. I haven't seen anyone who's, like, important enough just come by and...
No.
And even if that were the case, you're just somebody with a writ rather than being
Yeah,
like
but-
someone super important.
I'm feeling inspired today that something is going to go miraculously in my favor.
God damn it, boy.
It's true.
I had a premonition that today was going to be a very good day.
It's fair enough.
I'll wait in line. I'll tell
Okay.
Zakul if he doesn't feel like waiting here, I can hold our place.
Nonsense. I am
but
your guard, Lord Goldenbrow. I say almost sarcastically.
Very well. I'll reflect this in your next paycheck, and I'll like give him a wink.
Wink, wink.
We
Nudge,
will wait
nudge.
there for the line to pass.
Okay.
Pledge to carry your
I will-
burdens.
I will remember the warning that we received, and take my coin purse and like put it into like the front of my like belt or whatever, so that it's like.
Do you have a
right
manny
by my
pack?
crotch.
Now he does.
Well, now it is, yes. Now it's a manny pack.
Perfect. Somewhere else in the city, Tessa, you make your way over towards Castle Morgan's residence. There, outside, you see what looks to be a group of guards seated outside. There's a table of them, they're all playing cards, and among them, you see Kane. He immediately catches you as you're wandering down the street. Now, last time when you had met Kane, this was for the first time, you were kind of... oh no, you were in your regular clothes, and then you saw him at the garden all dressed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, when you approach, he excuses himself from the table, it seems, and kind of wanders over to you before you can even get up to the house. And he goes, "Hey, are you back? Hey, it's good to see you." And he goes to give you a hug.
Yes.
Okay?
She
Yes.
expects the hug.
He's kind of got, his hands on your shoulders, and he goes, the tavern owner said you were busy with something.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I had to run right out of town.
Oh, okay.
Something came up. I'm really sorry.
No, it's alright. I understand. You gotta pay the bills and everything. So,
Yeah.
are you, don't tell me you're free today.
I am free today. I think. I haven't checked with my party. I said I'd be back to the tavern to see if we had anything today, and then.
Well, I can go ask, but I am in the middle of a shift, and I did take that day off a few days back, so...
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Here, I'm gonna go ask and see if it turns out.
Sure.
He turns and wanders over, and, he calls something over to the guards there who are playing cards at the table, and steps in through the main door. And I'd like somebody who's feeling lucky to make a luck check
I think it
to
needs to be
determine
carried.
whether or not Tessa's gonna get another date.
Booty.
Pretty sure that has to be okay.
A 5! Fuck! Why are there so many 5s today
Oh,
for
fuck.
me?
A 5 fuck.
I always get 5s.
A 5 fuck.
He steps out, and he kind of, you can see the response in his face before he gets up to you, and when he, walks off the stairs and joins you in the street there, he goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not gonna happen."
Oh, that's
Not
okay.
today.
I'm not sure if I have anything tonight or the next couple of days. So how about you owe me a date the next time I'm free?
Owe you one.
Well, I guess I owe you one.
You're the one that skipped out on me. If I remember correctly, I took you out on a nice night on the town.
Yeah.
Minus that last bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wait,
Well-
last bit?
That is-
Tessa thinks of the kiss. He thinks of the robber or the mugging, right?
Yeah, he kind of he goes, with the guys in the street. and-
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
First thought, Tessa said, "Am I a fucking bad kisser?"
I'd like you to roll persuasion here to see if Kane
Give me
is
a
starting
20.
to fall in love with you.
+6. 19.
He, he turns to you for a moment and he goes, look, I get off work pretty late. I have to be here all the time. But if you come by Castle's house around like 10 o'clock, I might be able to slip out for a little bit. Maybe not long enough to go and get something to eat, but we could, walk around and talk if you want.
Wait, you mean 10 in the morning or 10 at night?
10 at night.
I would love to, Kane, but there's robbers out, right? Or thieves. I'm gonna kind of give him like a sly smile. I'm like, aren't you a fucking guard? Shouldn't you know that?
See, you're making a joke with him, but suddenly
Yeah.
he changes completely and he's like, oh yeah, you're right. No,
Oh my god, wait, no, I'll be fine.
What?
I'll meet you here.
I've heard some stories. I mean, it's not pretty out there. Not much happens around Castle's house here, but, over in the market, it's been rough. You know what, maybe... do you know a day where you're not gonna be busy?
How about I double check with my group and I'll come back here?
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah, no, that works for me. Anyway, I gotta get back. Don't want the guys suspecting anything. But, I'll see you later, okay?
Wait! Oh, wait, no, not like wait as in I yell wait. I mean like wait at the table talk wait. Sorry.
Sure.
I just realized I would have screamed wait.
Kane, no!
No! Alright, before he leaves, can I give him a hug?
Sure.
Can I tell him he's falling for me? Or,
Make an insight check, please.
Oh, I'm trying to win this.
What is
Hold
this?
on.
The Sims?
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
It's K's versions of The Sims.
Green plus
Going
sign.
for that
over there.
woohoo.
So that's 13.
13. You can't be sure, but your heart's telling you, yeah, he's into you. And you think that you're more than just a pretty face to him at this point, and he's starting to like you.
Should have had him like push her away from the hug. Like, oh, what are you doing?
Get the fuck out, gross.
Fuck
Girls. Ugh.
Jeez. I would have laughed so fucking
Press the
hard.
vegetation, the cooties away.
You give him a hug, and he reciprocates, but he doesn't take it any further. And after that, he just says, "Okay, I gotta go," and quickly turns, gives you a smile and a wave, and runs back off. And you can tell immediately that when he rejoins the table with the guard there, even as you're kind of stepping away, that they poke fun at him and everything like that, and start to, be like, "Oh, who's that?" and start, elbowing him and everything.
Do I have a disguise kit? No. Can I find somewhere that sells a disguise kit?
Ah, okay.
Like the makeup disguise kit, like the generic one that has all that stuff in it.
Sure. Yeah, you go looking around. And meanwhile, Zencass and Merton, you're both standing there in the middle of the road, still kind of flabbergasted from what's happened.
I feel like I'm not surprised at all. I'm just like,
Fuck.
that's what happens. We'll see what we can do about that, but
Oh wait,
gold's just gold.
real quick, Illusion. Before the time skip, I collected like a shopping list from people of what they might need for the adventure. Like, is there anything? Would that be like rec on them once we get to the shop, or?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean about
He
that.
wants to know if anyone wanted him to buy stuff.
Right, because we were headed
Oh.
into town.
Sure, yeah,
Um,
talk that over now. If you guys want him to grab you something, what do you guys want?
A nice sturdy coil of rope.
Ah.
I know
would've
someone wants.
Fit
I know
for
someone wants a
BDSM.
nice dress.
Merton wanted the dress as well, or Victoria wanted another dress.
I would have asked for another bag of ball bearings if they can find it.
When I asked for the rope, I kind of like,
Scattered mine.
I do like the hanging symbol and like a tongue out of my mouth.
I see.
Jesus. You should totally go back to Trent and just hand him like a bunch of stuff like leather straps and like a ball gag and stuff. And make sure you have alter self ready for tonight.
Okay, so And Zenkas, you had nothing?
Not really, no.
Buy
Well,
me
actually-
39 gold.
Alright, no, that's fine. Keep going with Will
Okay.
and Clem.
So you guys are standing outside there, and, you know, Zenkas, you just lost a lot of money. And, Merton, you're just thinking to yourself, yep, I should have known.
That's what happens. Well, you know, I wanted to go see the fence today anyway, and now we have even more reason. So when you get a good view of this place, you know, pick a spot or whatever. You're gonna be here soon.
I'm already good. I just wanted to see the layout.
All right. Well, hands in your pockets. Not that you've got anything more to protect, but I'll head over.
Jesus.
I just put it like a dagger inside my sleeve.
Sure. Protect your dignity. Not like you have any left, but, you know.
Well, we'll get it straightened out.
Okay, so the two of you wander off, and where are you going?
The fence.
The fence. Ah. We're going to continue your thing before we jump over to the boys at the gate, because when you get over towards the fence, you tap on the door, and there's no response. And then you tap again, and the door opens. But it's not the same thing like before. Instead of hearing a bunch of locks clicking and all of that, you see that there's a woman who's there in the doorway, and she has in her arms what looks to be like a young child that's kind of asleep. And she speaks to you softly and says, "That's a strange knock. Can I help you too?"
In Thieves' Cant, I'll be like, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" But I'm saying like, "Who are you?" If that's
She doesn't
is
respond
that how
in
Thieves'
Thieves'
Cant
Cant.
works?
Yep,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
can do it. She doesn't respond in Thieves' Cant, and I'm gonna roll to see if she figures out that you're like doing anything weird or whatever.
Can I,
Obviously,
like,
Jehovah's
deceive her,
Witness.
maybe.
She doesn't pick up on it, and she's like, "Yeah, no, it is a nice day out. Was there something I could help you with?"
Yeah, I noticed you're new here. Where do you know who lived here before you?
No, I don't.
There was someone else who lived here, and I noticed he disappeared, and I was just wondering.
Oh, the room
You know what
came
happened?
up just recently. Oh, it must be. You're probably friends with whoever just moved out. I get it now. I don't really know. You could, you know, landlady's down on the first floor. You could ask her.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Sorry to disturb.
She gives you a nod and closes the door.
All right, we're probably going to the shady part of town now.
I'd like you to make a perception check, please, Merton.
My hands are in my pockets.
Not robbing me.
Damn.
11.
11. Okay. You step away, and the two of you are going to the shadier part of town.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe I'd be looking for like Thieves' Cant on the wall. That's like a written thing too, right? Like people like write.
You can see that the same symbol from before is there, the Thieves' Cant that says that there's a fence, basically. But there's a new symbol underneath it there, put down on the wall in what looks to be a small carving, but a fairly recent, like a non-weathered blade. You can see it says moved. The word for moved is there.
Okay. But no indication to where. Just that. It
No
has
location.
moved. Okay. I'll keep my eye out
All right.
of more of those symbols then.
Now, meanwhile, back in the line, eventually you guys get up towards the front of the line here. The guard steps over and says, "All right, purpose for entering into Hillcrest?"
I'll pull out my writ and say, going on an expedition with the Marcoonsons. He's given me access to do a bit of shopping beforehand.
He takes it, looks at the papers, and for the first time in quite some while, you're not worried about whether or not this forgery is going to be picked up. And he kind of looks at the thing, unless you want to use your 20 to see if Marcoonson gave you a forgery.
No, it's okay.
Dust in his eye.
Oh god!
Oh, the dust.
For the sake of continuity, a bit of dust flies into his eye, and he curses before handing you back the
The dust
papers.
strikes again.
And he motions over towards the gate there, and
I
you
say a
guys,
silent prayer to the dust gods.
you guys enter in.
Pakistan gods are with us tonight.
When you enter into the secondary gates, you are asked once again what it is that you're doing there, and when you answer, they look over your papers, and you watch as magical symbols are traced over the papers and everything, and then they're given back to you, and soon you're let into Hillcrest. It's early in the morning, or not super early, it's morning now, and this city is nothing like the outside of Hillcrest. Like, everything here is absolutely gorgeous. You don't see anything for street vendors or anything like that, but anybody who's out and walking about is in, like, full noble attire, and, you know, there's plenty of, like, beautiful shops and estates, and even the guards, you know, have pristine armor. It's really something.
I will lead off. If it's obvious, I'll head towards what would be like the merchant district of the town. Otherwise, I'll ask a guard for directions.
Okay. Now, you guys managed to get into town just fine and wander off down the street, and you ask one of the guards, and he motions over towards a different street and kind of gives you guys directions until eventually you find yourselves in what looks to be a very large plaza. This plaza is complete with, like, statues that have fountains coming out of them, and all around the plaza are these different shops. Now, at the center here, you can see that there are a couple of caravans that are parked that have stalls outside of them. And you recognize these as being some of the people who are laboriously waiting in line to get here. They're, like, setting up and everything like that. And while they're setting up, you know, there's nobles wandering around, inspecting wares, things like that. You guys are, like, a couple of people here in a crowd that is made mostly of the highborn and people intending to sell things to the highborn for money.
Right. So the first two things, I guess, is one, something that looks like a general store almost, that would sell that sturdy coil of rope and the ball bearings, and the other being a clothes thing from Victoria and possibly might catch Trent's eye as well.
Okay.
So he's looking for fine clothes.
I am trying to steer us towards like actual shops here, if there exist, not like stands.
True.
Okay.
Like, not people who are coming here to sell stuff, but like maybe like merchant guilds or someone who already has like a, you know, like an established business in town.
It's time for some luck checkaroonies. I'd like one from either of you.
Z, you can roll for this. Or if this involves the clothing store. Okay, you got it.
It's really important to Trent.
There's a small carriage here which is being carried forth by what looks to be a single but incredibly large and sturdy horse. Out of the back of the carriage, two doors are flung open, and you see what looks to be Neil's Rope Emporium. And he has every type of rope you could possibly want. So are you just buying regular rope?
I'm looking for a threaded rope that's probably made of wool like normal, but
Sure.
one that's sturdy enough and could be. It's like a fisherman's type of rope, you know, the
Do you
hard
have silk
knots.
rope?
Ah, that is lighter if we want to go with that.
He has both, yes. He also has what he describes as magical rope. He has satin rope. He has chain rope. He has everything you could want.
Storekeeper Neil, explain to me how this rope is magical, pointing at the magical rope.
Oh, it's very simple. And he kind of like reaches for it, grabs the rope, and he kind of looks around for a moment, and you see what looks to be one of the statues nearby, right? It's one of the ones that doesn't have a fountain or a water feature attached. And he goes, like this, and just whips the rope at it. And it's a very sort of like dainty whip. Neil doesn't seem to be the kind of person who wields a lot of strength or dexterity. It's sort of a girly flick of his wrist there, but the rope moves out and almost levitates until the edge of it grabs onto the statue and then wraps around its arm.
That is rather impressive. How much is this?
He kind of flicks his wrist again, and the thing automatically comes undone and sort of coils back to him. He turns to you and he tells you that that rope costs... Make a second luck roll, please.
You want to roll this, Jim?
This is still your thing. I'll let you go.
Okay, well, you're in the clothes shop then.
Yeah, I'm trying to save up my luck for the clothes.
A 9 luck roll.
He tells you that it's 500 gold.
I shake my head and I point towards the silk rope and the wool. How much are those then?
Okay. He tells you it with a sort of, downcast look. Oh, those. 5 for the normal one. And, well, you seem like a nice fellow. 10 for the silk.
Can I, see if he's, like, inflating his prices at all? Like, I'm assuming everything here is going to cost a little bit more just because of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
But can I roll anything to see if I think he's, like, super ripping us off?
I'd say you could make a raw int or an insight check. It's up to you.
I think intelligence is higher for me.
I hold up my hempen rope and it's like, this costs $1, 1 gold.
7 on the intelligence roll.
You're not certain.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
already
just-
arguing with Neil that the rope I already have is like a fifth of the price.
Yes, for that used thing. This is brand new. Spun just the other day.
Turn and look towards Trent for a moment.
If you want used ropes, this is not the place to look.
Give me the silken one.
He just hands it over to you. 10, please.
I'll hand him 10 gold.
Pleasure doing
I'll-
business with you.
I'll elbow Zakul and be like, best get both, just to be sure.
I believe this one will be fine. And we have extra rope if you need it.
It's fine.
Plus, Paladin Merton is going to be paying for this. So,
We should see about exchanging at one of these stalls while we're here.
the big bar.
Yes.
Maybe look for that establishment because they'll probably be able to handle an exchange like that much easier.
You can do that easily. There is a dwarf nearby who...
Just happens to be there.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's everything
Okay.
here. And he's got like a money exchange stand-up, and he charges just 2 copper pieces in order to exchange your coin into pretty much any denomination you'd want.
I urge Zakul to get platinum pieces.
I'll head over towards the dwarf with Trent in tow, and giving him 2 coppers and the 500 gold bar.
Okay.
Transform it into gold.
He gives
Now,
the bar a
can I
look.
insight check this guy to make sure that he's not like setting me up, like marking me for someone else to come pick me off later?
Sure. Yeah, make an insight check.
It looks reputable, right? This is a 12.
He doesn't seem like the shady sort.
Okay.
In fact, when you hand this to him, it's very routine for him. You feel like you've handed him a task that he probably does, 100 times a day, and he just kind of takes this thing, gives it a look, puts it under a few different lenses, and some, a couple taps here, and then eventually you're handed over your new coin. There you go.
I'll pocket this back up.
Okay.
This is it's 10 to 1, right?
It's
It should
morning.
be 50.
Oh, sorry,
50
you're
platinum, right?
Yeah. No, I meant like 10 to 1 piece.
Yeah. I thought you meant the
50.
time for a sec there.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Trent, if you're looking for the clothing store, I think there should be more in this merchandise.
Is there a guard standing around anywhere?
Yeah, for sure. There are guards all over the place in this market, wandering here and there.
I'll go up to like the closest guard and I'll be like, "Excuse me, sir.
What can I do for you, citizen?"
As you can probably tell, my my robes here have gathered a little bit of wear and tear, and I'm looking to purchase some new ones. Is there any establishment in town known for their fine work?
I can think of a few places.
Any that you would personally recommend, and I'll like try and play on his sense of like I'll like look him up and down, like he's dressed nicely. Like, is there anywhere? I mean, he's probably in like plate armor, but
He turns to you and he says, "Well, it's a bit above what I can pay, but I like to go here. Most of the nobles prefer this shop, though. I find that stuff to be a little bit above my pay grade, though." And he kind of points out two shops. So you know one that this guard would normally go to, and another one that he seems to think all the nobles like to go to.
go into the noble one. Thank you, sir.
He gives you a nod as you wander off, and let's see here. Give me a moment. You head into what looks to be like a 3-story tall building made completely of stone, much like the rest of the stores here. And it's Tay's clothing shop that's written on the outside. And as you step inside, you can see that there are tons of displays, as well as a good number of different nobles kind of wandering here and there. And the amount of money they have on them is kind of intimidating, as well as the amount of stuff that's all around. For you, it may not be so bad, Trent, but for Yuzucool, it's just like everything in here reeks of wealth. There are attendants all over the place, and the moment that you guys step in, somebody immediately comes over, kind of, gives you guys a bow, and then looks at the two of you, and then after looking at Zakul for a second, turns over to you, Trent, and then says, "Right, what can I get for you?"
Well, my cloak here has been through the rudder, so to speak, and I'm hoping to purchase some new finery.
Cloaks, then. Just this way.
Thank you, sir.
And off down the way, this attendant takes you over towards a little back area of the first floor and shows you what looks like a very impressive assortment of cloaks. And immediately, instead of leaving you guys to your business, which is kind of common outside in the city, this attendant stays with you and, says, "I think you'd look good in this. Or perhaps, maybe... Oh, this would be much better." And he holds to you what looks to be a cloak entirely of it's like a tiger pattern, like this huge tiger fur cloak, but it's been dyed, so it's no longer like the orange and black. Instead, it's like a white and black.
Oh shit!
So it's like a white and black tiger cloak.
There's no indication of prices in these places, right? Like, this is something you have to think you have the money for, and then you ask what it costs.
There are no prices on the item that you've been given. You see some, like there are outfits in little displays that sometimes have a cost associated with them, but most of the items on the shelf don't, and this one is one of those.
Okay. Have I seen any outfits that would like give me like what I think a price range is around here?
Yeah, most, like the full outfits that are on display seem to run close to like 1,000 gold.
Okay. So I think this is probably like maybe a couple hundred.
Likely, yeah.
I'll ask if they have a place to try it on. Is there a fitting room?
Of course, my lord. Just down here. And he shows you over towards the other end of the back of the room. It's actually pretty close towards where all the cloaks are kept. And you can see that there's other people kind of using some other ones, and one of them seems to be free, and he motions for you to step over towards it. Take your time. If you need anything, I'll be waiting right here.
Now, I do have one more question before I go in here.
Of course.
This one might take a bit for you to think about. I do a bit of travel, as you can tell from the current state of my clothes. Do you have anything that might be useful to one who ventures out and adventures? Anything enchanted or magically inclined?
Oh. He leans forward knowingly and says, "Sir, we have a impressive array of magical clothing here at Tay's Clothier."
Perhaps after I try this one on, you might show me that area.
Of course. I'll think of a few things for you while you try that on.
Thank you. And I'll step in and try it on. How gorgeous is it?
As you step in there and go to try the thing on, the attendant turns towards Yuzacool and says, "Your master has great tastes."
Lord Goldenbrow is it's a little careful of this money. Make sure you bring out cloaks that will actually be useful.
I assure you, there's nothing more useful than a cloak as beautiful as that. And you can see in the change room, as it's not fully closed, that Trent is standing in front of a large mirror wearing this thing, and you look fly as fuck.
I'm raising my eyebrow. Useful.
You would certainly
I'll step
stick out in the outer portion of Hillcrest.
I'll step out without taking it off and ask how much this piece is.
Roll luck, please, sir.
Are we allowed to use portent rolls?
No. Not on luck rolls.
11.
Okay. 200 gold is the price tag. Upon giving you the price, the attendant also gives you a bit of a description, story to go with it. He tells you that it is of a beast who was slain over in Kinth, and it was from a giant saber-tooth that this was forged. One of the best. An alpha male, which is the reason why the fur is so slick and so thick.
It is certainly gorgeous, though I feel as though I would be doing it more harm on the road than it's worth. But certainly a nice piece for dinner parties, and one that I would love to have in my assemble.
Searching for something more robust, then, that can suffer a few scrapes and still retain its beauty.
Yes, something that I might wear upon a dusty trail and not feel as though I were committing sin in the process.
I do have such a thing. There's two items. Here, I'll show you the first one.
I'll take the cloak off with like a look of like, man, I wish I wasn't taking this off.
It takes you a second as you hold it one last time before the attendant takes it from your grasp and puts it back on the shelf, and soon you're led up to the second floor. There, you travel towards what appears to be one of the windows, and the beautiful natural daylight drifts in and lands upon a number of glass cases that seem to have garments folded up in them. This portion of the room has people in it looking about and whatnot, and it's also staffed by what looks to be some guards that are like directly beside you, watching you as you kind of look over these items. And
Real quick, Aleutian. As we're walking through this place, do I see any symbols of like house names? Like obviously I see Tays written on things, but do I see like any like, because I still have no idea what Merkunzen does. So one of the reasons I wanted to go to a bunch of shops that are like in town is to see, is he like investing in places? Does he own things?
Now, you don't see anything for the interior of the shop, but you do see that certain patrons have crests on them and symbols and things like that. And if you're looking about, I'm going to make this luck roll.
Just like during the day, if I see any like Marcoons and house symbols anywhere, that would be something that I would want to keep note of.
For sure, yeah. It doesn't appear that he's in here buying any clothes right now. You see some noble crests, some of which you recognize, actually. Not because they were proximal to you back in Soulsland, but nobles all like to keep track of each other. And you see some houses that are like, you know, ones that your parents had taught you. When you see that crest, like, he has a lot of money. You know, you don't...
Anything Thundercock here?
Oh. I'll make... Actually, Will, I'd like you to make a luck roll, please.
Oh boy. Thundercock me, daddy. 12.
No, you don't see that crest. You're aware that they live here, but it doesn't seem many of them are here buying clothes.
Alrighty.
Now,
Just things to keep an eye out for.
for sure, yeah. The attendant over there brings you towards one of the cases and shows you a suit that's in here. It's a little bit difficult to see what it is at first, but he goes over and pulls out a key from his pocket and undoes the little latch there. And when it is kind of brought out and he holds it in front of you, you see hanging there what looks like a beautiful black suit with a little bit of filigree and trim on it. And the suit is not as sort of ostentatious or like
Flashy.
gaudy, yeah, exactly, as the cloak was. It would pair well with it given the colors, but as he holds it there in front of you, he says, this garment is magically enchanted. It automatically mends itself and is always in pristine condition.
And it looks like fine clothes, right? Like this would be like a fine
Yes.
outfit. Okay.
He says,
There's
any
no
dust
price
from
on
the
this
road
website.
would be swept off of it in mere seconds. And even mud, oils, pigments, they're all turned astray. It's a very formidable enchantment.
How much would this suit run?
I'd like you to make a roll, please, for luck.
Can I stand behind Trent and like be looking at this guy's face to see if he's like taking advantage of Trent? Is it
Sure.
inside roll?
You can make an insight check.
17.
A 21.
Oh. You were quoted at 400 for this suit. And Zakul, as the quote comes down, you get this scratching feeling in the back of your mind, kind of like, I don't know. I think that he is kind of, playing this a little bit high. Though it's very well hidden. You see like a brief sort of twitch at the corner of his mouth there, and you kind of think, I don't know, something seems a little fishy.
I speak low and draconic and allow, or basically clue Trent in on this, that he's up the price, that you could definitely bargain a bit and bring
Sure.
it down.
What do you say to him when in Draconic there?
He believes you to be a foolish child, Lord Goldenbrow. Perhaps a fairer price could be reached if you negotiate.
I'll kind of turn towards the attendant here, and I'll hold the suit out in front of me and sort of spin it back and forth, and I'll say, 400.
Yes, my lord.
It's funny because, I'm from Soulsland, and I don't know what the name of like a nice clothing shop is in Soulsland, but
Sure, you could name drop someone from there.
I'll name drop a Soulsland finery place. I'll say, they have a suit very similar to this one, maybe with a bit of different filigree to it, but, they quoted me at, 250. But, perhaps, I guess, the economies are a bit different here and there.
Make a persuasion check, please.
Come
Can I
on,
take my 20 here?
You could, yeah.
Alright, it's a 24.
Okay, and nat 20. He pauses for a second. He says, I could go as low as 270.
I will turn to Zakul with pleading in my
I'll give him a nod. Like, okay. And I pull out the 27 platinum and slide it like in the shopkeeper's direction, because this is obviously something I'm supposed to safekeep, right? Trent doesn't have to hold the money. He's the Lord.
Okay.
270 is a fair price. We will take it. Thank you for your patronage. What is your name?
He says, thank you for understanding. My name is Gurkar.
I will tip Gurkar 10 gold. Like, outside of paying for it.
I'm looking at the 10 gold that's just being flipped over like, why? But I don't say anything.
He says, very gracious, my lord. Thank you. If there's anything else that you want to see, I'd be happy to show you around the shop.
Are there, this is a bit of a stranger question, but are there any established blacksmiths in town?
Plenty. We have some of the best here in Hillcrest.
Of course. Are there any that Taze would recommend? In particular? One who not only has fine goods, but perhaps ones that look good as well.
The Keen Blade is a good shop. You can find it across the plaza. I'd recommend starting there. They make some of the finest swords available.
Thank you very much. And I'll nod to him.
Hold on. While I've been following Jimmy around, or Trent around the shop, have we seen any dresses that?
Oh, right. I think Trent would have forgotten.
I'll point it out before
You've
we
seen
leave.
tons of them.
I think even, well, I guess that would be out of character, but never mind. I'll just continue.
Lord Trent, or Lord Goldenbrow, before we leave, believe your beau had a dress that she may have wanted, kind of like hinting towards something.
I have an idea of what she was looking for. We'll return after the blacksmith. Thank you for your patronage, sir. And I'll start to go out.
Okay.
And then to Zakul, once we've exited in Draconic, I'll say, as I recall, the dress that Victoria was last seen in was more of a homemaker's dress. I think the ones here might be too flashy. Perhaps the one the guard recommended would be better for something like that.
Okay.
I nod in this, as you say, my lord, in a sarcastic voice back in Draconic.
Are you
I'll lead over.
Have you switched into your suit, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you go ahead and slip that on, and we're going to cut over to Tessa. You're off in the city here and have recently found out that your would-be lover is currently working and can't get off since, he's stuck and took a day off just, like 10 days ago kind of thing. Where are you going and what are you doing?
I'm back to Ursa's.
Back to Ursa's? Okay.
Back to Ursa's?
You get back to the tavern there and find that, there's a couple of simple folk kind of over there at the quarter table having some stew and chit-chatting. And Cal, just gives you a wave as you enter and everything. Are you doing anything in particular?
No, I'll just wait back to Cal and I'll head to my room.
Okay. Elsewhere, Zencast, you are off in the city with Merton, and the two of you are headed towards a shadier portion of town. Now, as you do so,
hang on. Can I do something first?
Sure.
Before we get there, or just like in an alley or out of sight from people, I'll flick my fingers and turn into the fence.
Oh. Okay. You don't know what his actual face looks like, but you do know what his appearance looks like normally with, the kind of the hood and the bandana and everything. And you start to take this form and are going to travel through the city with Zenkas.
Yeah, I'm hoping someone maybe recognizes
Sure.
him.
You go wandering down the road and gradually get closer and closer to the slums. And the quality of the houses starts to degrade from that of being simple abodes to simpler ones to shacks and little excuses for housing in a way. And in the thick of it, you are approached. I'd like you to make a luck roll, please.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
18. Yes.
okay. As you're over there, you see somebody who starts to wander in your direction, and immediately you see your fence walking towards you. Like your duplicate is traveling through the city streets in your direction.
I'll just face him and stop, or walk toward him.
He steps up towards you and he says, looking good.
Thank you.
Care to explain yourself?
Easiest way to find you.
Uh-huh. And who's trying to find me? I've got crossbows pointed.
Oh, do you want me to make a fireball?
Okay, I get it. And he turns around and he motions with his hand for you to follow him.
I do.
That was pretty clever.
He goes and sits down at a nearby bench, and you can see what looks like a mug of ale that he has still sitting there from before, and like a paper. And he just kind of sits down and motions for you to sit with him. And there's enough space that Zenkas can get on there too.
Been out for a while. You guys have been busy, I hear.
Mm-hmm. Hey, drop the whole, the get up. It's gonna look weird for people going by.
Okay, I will.
So, how have things been?
Well, it hasn't been very long for me. I came to see how you were doing, because I heard you'd been busy.
In a way. Had to get out of the old place. Sorry, there wasn't much time to, really leave directions.
Easy enough to find. Yeah, we experienced how busy you guys have been just on our way over here.
Oh, yeah?
Poor Zenkas here. Didn't have his wits about him, just waking up.
Oh, you didn't get hit, did you?
His pockets are a little lighter.
He kind of looks over and he goes, "What happened, Short Stack? You, lose a little bit of money?"
I just look at him and I say into his head, "Yes, I did. I don't even move my lips."
He kind of blinks for a second and then looks back over at you, Merton, and he says, "That's an interesting trick."
We've all got one or two.
So, I'm guessing he's one of those fireball types, too.
You could say that.
Jesus. Well, my life's only getting more complicated. Hey, look, I don't really have anything for you right now. Things are completely upside down.
Oh, that's fine, actually. I had things for you.
What?
See, we're looking to pull a job, and maybe we could use your help. Just
Okay.
a little bit.
Well, I'm listening.
We're doing all the heavy lifting. We just need
I've got a meeting in 2 hours. I'm down to talk.
we just need area security while we do the job in an alley, if you know what I'm saying.
A few watchful eyes.
A few watchful eyes.
I could do that. It'll cost you a little bit.
Of course.
Prices aren't exactly cheap now. You've seen the flyers, I assume?
Yeah, I got one this morning just for myself.
Fuck. Look, that job wasn't you, was it?
We've been... I'll like thumb at my neck. Sleep for a while, so no. I thought it was you.
He shakes his head and he says, no.
Are there more than... How many organizations we got in the city here?
Probably 3 or 4 dozen freelancers, a couple of big gangs. You know, we get around.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked to most of them. Like...
Well, we know nothing about it. But I know we talked to you about the Castle Morgan job, and that's the one I'm talking about. We've got it all planned out, and I don't know what the name of the restaurant is, but we're gonna have them at this alley by this restaurant. We don't know the date yet because, you know, days change with us, but when it's on, we will let you know the day of. So the price may go up because short notice, I understand. Well worth it. We can
throw some
discuss
feelers
details.
I think there's
Yeah.
a few people that would want to be involved in the taking down of old Mr. Morgan there.
Indeed. And it wouldn't need to be too many, just a few eyes, like we said.
Fuck, this is only going to make things worse, though. Like, you guys aren't going to want to do much in town after that.
We will be taking a bit of a leave shortly after.
Good, good. Between you and me, I think there's a gang war coming up.
Well, we could certainly be of help, but don't know if we'll be around. That's kind of my expertise right there. You let me know if you need something, but if not, this will do. If there's a gang war, how do you stack up?
I'm not on either side, but that could go either way. They might not notice me, or I might get blamed for
see.
something and be outnumbered, you know? I might be
Thinking
forced to
about-
joining a side even if I don't want to.
Thinking about leaving or joining a side?
I've been in town for a while. Might be a good idea to skip. Go back to Inn and Bar, you know?
Yeah. Well, right after this Morgan job, we'll be dipping pretty soon, so you're welcome to ride it out with us at least until we go to bed. But
How are you doing for
No, I-
coin these days? Well, barring your friend there. We could maybe split the ride. I don't know where you're going to go after this, but might be
We're-
willing to
we're-
tag along.
we're doing fine. This morning's loss was but a learning experience.
I bet. Well, he didn't get shanked, so...
That would have made it all easier. We would have seen him.
Oh, a sly one. Well,
Yes.
quick and easy. If anything happens, you can find me here. And he kind of slips you a piece of paper and gives you an address within the lower ward. I'm gonna be here for the next little while. If you come by and I don't answer, I'm probably dead.
Well, lay low. If that doesn't happen. I think the next time I'll see you is if I need you for the job. So be prepared.
Like I said,
And,
think about not doing this. The city's a powder keg right now. If you kill Castle Morgan, that could be a problem. If you've got friends who live in town, you're not making life any easier for them. If you're a loner like me, it's no skin off of my back, but, I don't know what kind of stuff you and your friend over there have going on. If you got families here, you're going to want to get them on the train, too.
nothing like that. We stay and leave together, and we won't be here much longer. But,
Okay.
so you're interested or not? So I need to know.
Yeah. Give me a day, and I'll probably have some people ready to help you out.
You have at least that.
Good. Alright, man. I'm gonna head off.
Good.
He,
Sorry about the whole get up thing.
it works. Better than a fireball.
Much.
He stands up, gives you a nod, turns over to you, Zencast, says, "See you later. Good luck out there." And he kind of like chuckles to himself and then wanders down the road.
All right, let's go. I'm going to the I need to go get my bra, so I'll go there and then we can do whatever.
Okay. You go to collect your bra. We'll say that you go and get that just fine. Collecting a bra.
That's in the it's in the street.
Yep. No, I keep a log of all the stuff you guys are up to. And off in the city, your shopping episode is still going on. Where are you guys going to next?
The blacksmiths.
Blacksmiths. Ah.
Oh, yes, blacksmith.
Across the plaza, you make your way over towards the Keen Blade. And you find that this shop, once again, is very much like the last, which is interesting. Most of the blacksmithies that you know of have, the forge on display outside and everything with the anvil, etc. But here, there's none of that. When you step into the main door and past the entranceway, you walk into a Blade Master's, wet dream. It's just an emporium of swords all over the place. Short, thin, heavy, whatever you want. It's all over the place. You see some that look very utilitarian, others that look to be inlaid with gold. You see silvered blades, you see ones encrusted with gems, you see some that look to be semi-magical, all sorts of stuff. What do you want to do? What are you looking for?
What kind of weapon does the Ghoul use?
I use a hammer. Just out of curiosity, how much would a silver hammer work?
Well, you're using a sword now. A silver hammer, like a maul?
Or a silver sword. No, a warhammer is what I've been using. But
A silvered one would cost significantly more. You'd be looking at Warhammer. Go ahead and roll luck for me.
it doesn't even have to be a hammer. Just any silver martial weapon, in my opinion. That just as a half as an option. That's a 10 on the luck roll.
Okay. You see that there is a silvered greatsword for 200 gold.
Is that the only silvered weapon they have here?
No, there's silvered variants of pretty much everything on display. There's a whole rack which is just like all the weapons in silver, more or less, bladed ones, of course.
Do you use a shield, Zakul?
I do. So if it was a one-handed weapon, then that was silver.
What about
That
a
would be the
silvered
cheapest.
longsword?
The silvered longsword goes for 130 gold.
I'll point to it and be like, eh?
It looks really good.
It may be useful on the road depending on what we run into, but may not be necessary either.
At this point, somebody
let's look
walks up
around.
to you, and you see what looks like one of the attendants here, but he's not like the one from the clothing shop. He wears a set of leather armor and has like daggers and short swords at the ready. And he goes, "Hey guys, what do you need? Find things all good?"
My attendant here has been eyeing up that longsword on your.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Would you mind fetching it from the wall?
Sure. He turns and pulls the thing from the wall and kind of holds the blade gently in his hand and extends the handle over to you.
Go ahead and give it a few swings there, Zaki.
I'll hold it and kind of test the balance of it, but I am realizing table talk that I don't personally need this. I am looking at my party members in my head, like what weapons they use.
Okay. Holding the sword in your hand, it's remarkably light compared to the hammer that you normally wield, and it feels like something that kind of dances in your grip instead of something that just forces its way through the problem. And the blade is quite beautiful too. Everything's like nicely polished, and this sword's probably been oiled recently. What do you think?
Fine
Yeah,
blade.
good one. Is it a good one?
It's a fine blade. Do you have a rapier or something?
Ooh, of course. Silver?
Of course.
Preferably.
130. This guy right here, and he kind of taps to one on the wall.
Can I insight check to make sure that this is like still like a good silver weapon and
Sure.
this guy knows what he's talking about?
Yeah, make an insight check.
That's a 10.
You're not certain what to make of them, but the quality of the weapons cannot be disputed. Whether or not the prices are fair, you're not really sure.
Okay, so I turned to Trent and said, I'm not sure of the prices, but these are fine weapons.
What? Do you say it loud enough that the attendant could hear?
I'll say it in Draconic.
Oh, okay.
In Draconic, I'll respond, well, you are the carrier of our gold. I figured you deserved a new weapon if you wanted it, but if you think something like that might be better for perhaps,
I'll
Tessa
hold
or...
up my heftier hammer and say, in common actually, Azun blesses my every blow. Silver may be useful against certain monsters, so having one for the others is probably important. If you think, party leader or Lord Goldenbrow, that we should get this rapier, then I'm happy to pay for it. Or happy you will be paying for it with your gold.
Hey guys, isn't that a bit rude? I mean,
I'm happy with this rapier. Do you have... Now, this is a bit embarrassing, but we have a friend who lives outside the city walls here, and things have been getting a little bit rough.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a normal, less expensive blade that one might get for a fine gift? Not of silver make, but just like a standard longsword.
I've got something good. Yeah, over here. Check this out. You might like this. And he hoists over to you a $75 price tag longsword that has a couple of what looks like some garnets kind of inlaid on the hilt.
Now, to be clear, Stormmaster, when he said gift, he did not mean extravagantly jeweled. He means something that can be used for combat.
Oh, my bad. I mean, well, this is good for combat. No mistake.
I assure you, the jewels are not helping his combat ability.
All of these are combat tested.
Do I see any long swords that aren't like jeweled and stuff?
Yeah, you see some that are more plain, and there's one over there in the corner, and that runs you... Ooh... that one goes for 40 gold.
Jesus.
In Draconic, I'll say, let's get the rapier for the rest of the party to decide who would enjoy it. And let's get the longsword for Cal. He's been good to us, and I think he needs a proper weapon with everything going on right now.
I mean, I inspected this spear I gave him. I'm replying back in Draconic and saying that spear is a martial weapon of sorts. It will do the job. If you believe this sword is necessary, then sure, we could give him...
It might not be necessary, but in my experience, you know, a spear might function as well should it come to blows, but someone drawing a sword such as this, rather than pulling out what's clearly a second-hand spear. I mean, the thing was made out of seashells, if I recall correctly.
Was it? I thought it was a metal spear. Just got it from the fishman.
Oh, I thought the fishman had like...
No, it
fishy
was
claws.
yeah, it's like a coral spear.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, so thinking back on it, probably more appropriate to get a sword than like an actual...
And that way, if he draws it, they'll think he owns this blade, he must be trained with it, maybe it's not worth their blood.
While the two of you are
Plus-
talking in Draconic, the attendant taps you on the shoulder there, Zakul. Hey.
Your customers are speaking. It is rude to interrupt, storekeeper.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, you know. I can wait. I can wait.
How much if we were to combine and get this sword from the corner here and that nice silvered rapier you showed us?
Which two? Sorry, the rapier for 130 and the...
The 40 gold longsword.
Make a persuasion check.
Nine.
He says, I could do 165? 165, I think. That'd be good.
I turned to Zakul and...
When I look around, is there like guards and other people that would like run to this guy's aid if I try to intimidate him? I'm not gonna actually hurt him.
There are guards in here, yes.
Okay, so I won't do any of that. Then. I was gonna be like, maybe you should lower that price, but never mind. Well, I guess that's the price.
Okay, cool.
So
We'll
16
take
platinum, 5 gold.
Okay. 165, you get a brand new, well-made longsword, and you also get a silvered rapier.
Okay, remove the money from my pouch. Get the
They
stuff.
come with sheaths, right?
Yes. Yeah, you'll get scabbards and everything up at the counter.
Thank you, fine sir.
Hey, no problem. Hey, big guy, if you ever, are thinking about it, you could easily work with something like that. Wouldn't that be sweet? And he points out a large two-handed sword hanging there on the wall. And you can see that the handle has been shaped, so it looks like a dragon's mouth is what the blade extends from.
What race is this guy that's talking to us?
He's like a really sort of scrawny human character.
Looking at that greatsword, does it have any significance as it's a dragon, like religious or otherwise?
Make a history check, regardless of if you have proficiency.
I dropped religion because it's the only thing I have. Okay, so I have no idea.
No, the workmanship is clearly very good, but you're not able to gather if there's any sort of extra significance to it.
Perhaps another day's good storekeeper. But this will be it for today. I
Okay.
may come back in the future.
Look, I don't get a lot of Dragonborn customers, I think it'd be a real good fit, but, I'll keep it here for you if you want to come back sometime.
I'll tell him I've been trying to get him to stop hiding behind his shield for years, and he seems remiss to do so.
I
I hear
seem
ya.
to see you hiding behind my shield as well, Lord Golden Brow.
This is fair.
Behind
This
my
is
very
fair.
thigh.
Well, thank you for your patronage. I appreciate the excellent guidance you've given us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, see you some other time.
Oh wait, never mind. Do people like buy stuff? Because we do have a little bit of stuff to sell, I guess. 'Cause I have another fishman spear and a rusty longsword. Like,
I don't think they'd buy that here.
all right, well then.
Maybe outside.
Maybe a
Blacksmith.
junk shop, right? Outside somewhere. Not the keen edge or keen blade. Okay. We leave.
Okay. You leave the Keen Blade and head back into the plaza after buying some things. And with that, where are you going next? What's the next stop?
Oh crap! I'm sorry. Would he have sold ball bearings in there? Just so, or like somewhere along the streets?
Yes, I would say that you could easily get some ball bearings for, what is it, a gold? Is what they charge for a pouch?
Yeah, for a bag.
Yeah, so a gold piece for a bag of
Okay.
ball bearings.
So let's say I just bought that somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. Then, Trent, where do we want to go? Merkunzen?
Yes. Let's head by the Merkunzen residence and then back to the tavern.
Okay. So you guys go back over towards the Merkunzen estate, hoping to secure an audience there. And we'll cut over to you two. You've recently stepped out of the shop, having grabbed that bra that you had commissioned. What are you two up to?
To be honest, there's nothing more to do until it's time for me to go talk to Morgan.
Okay. So you're gonna go and hang out at Ursa's?
I I feel like Merton is a people watcher, so I might just like hang around town.
Sure.
And that's probably how he gets his disguises, right? By just like watching people.
Mm-hmm.
Probably do that.
Okay. What about you, Zenkas? Are you just gonna sit around town with Merton?
Mostly, yes, and muttering under my breath about having my money stolen.
Okay. Back in the main portion of Hillcrest, you guys get up towards the estate here, and the butler, kind of approaches you here and steps forward and gives you a nod. He says, "My lord, what
Is
can I do
Master
for you?"
Bastion in today?
Oh, make a luck check, please.
Lord Goldenbell, why are you speaking like that?
Nat 20.
He
Oh,
is,
he-
and I do believe he was searching for you. It was Mr.
Goldenbrow.
Goldenbrow, that's it, exactly. Here, let me unlock the gate for you.
Thank you.
He unlocks the gate and starts to escort you guys to the house, and has you wait outside for a moment as he steps in. And a few minutes later, the door opens, the butler kind of gives you a nod, walks past, and...
Real quick, while he's inside, I'm going to, in Dragonborn, say to Zakul, everybody was okay with me sharing the fact that we're great souls, right?
Correct. Merton and I both said you should probably do so.
Okay.
Especially with
Just wanted to
Imoku.
clarify.
Not with everyone, just to clarify once again. Just this particular noble group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The door opens, the butler excuses himself, and Bastion meets you there in the main hall. And he steps up and says, "Ah, Trent, it's good to see you again."
I'll give him a bow and step in. And you as well, Bastion. It's been an interesting time since we last met. I hope things are going well on your end.
Complicated, but good, I would say.
Aren't they always?
I regret that I have not prepared this expedition for you yet. Things have proven troublesome in the last little while.
Oh, has something come up?
I've had one of my establishments closed recently. A caravan, a company that I've been running for some time, had its horses stolen the other evening. And,
Oh, don't tell me they were stationed outside the city.
well, they were. Most of the space here behind the wall is taken up, and I would love to purchase some, but to be perfectly honest, the other nobles are loath to part with them, and those with personal carriages inside the city like to keep them.
Yes, I imagine it must be difficult to find space for a stable in a town like this.
Yes. It's regrettable, but they can drive up to my door when I need. In fact, I'm waiting for a carriage now, actually. Had to purchase something else, but the problem is I had them all equipped. The caravan was set. I had many people ready for the expedition, and at some point they made off with them. So I'm currently at a loss. I
Well,
could go and purchase another company's help, but then that brings the problem of sensitive information touching with people who should not know. Speaking of which, would you mind dismissing your servant?
Yes. Zakul, wait for us at the door, please.
I'll do our night salute and then kind of march back towards where the other servants may be.
Good man. He, starts to wander with you here, or kind of motions for you to sit down on a couch, like a sofa that's there in the main room. And he,
Probably leather.
yes, he sits down. He says, "By the way, you look much better than the last time."
Yes, I've begun to invest some of the gift you gave me into my well-being, so to speak, and started to make a few contacts here and there.
Hmm.
Spread my family name again.
Good, good. An important step on the way up. Looking the
Indeed.
part, that is.
Now, hearing your plight, I feel as though it's at least dutiful for me to offer to take the place of your lost expedition. My group and I are seasoned enough to feel like as though we could guide you ourselves. If you do still want to take this journey, you're welcome to come along with us as your hired hand. You've already paid, at least for the journey there.
Do you own a carriage?
We do not currently have our own carriage. We actually took a boat there the first time, and found that the waters were a safe entry, at least, into the town proper.
Interesting. Well, that brings the problems of the sailors knowing we're traveling there. But perhaps if you... You clearly have some people about you who aren't of the same stature as you and I. Here's a plan. Have one of them go and rent a carriage. No staff. Simply a horse that won't talk, and enough for me and a few personal guards, as well as your group. Perhaps we could swing something like that in the meantime. It's not ideal, not what I had hoped for, but it may work if you're feeling like time is of the essence.
Well, time is actually the reason I stopped by. I'm sure you noticed that your first letter was not immediately responded to, and it came to my attention that there is something I have withheld from you unintentionally about myself and my group. And I will pull back this nice collar, careful not to wrinkle it, and show the tattoo on my shoulder.
Ah, a man with a destiny. I see.
Yes, my companions and I are actually all tattooed.
Even that draconic fellow you had there at the door.
Yes, it's strange to see a tattoo on his scales, but it's there, I assure you.
Well, that's rather interesting. I've heard talk of some people like that in the city lately, though the talk is not too good.
Now, this does introduce a bit of a flaw. If we are to be your escort, there's always the chance that one night we might wake up and it might be a couple weeks later and you would be without 5 of your hired hands, which could prove troublesome.
We may have to purchase a very large carriage with your friend's name.
If you'd be amenable to it, we could go in your stead or meet you there. I know it is a leap of faith on someone who you hardly know, but
I'd like you to make a persuasion check, please. Just wishing you had that 20 now.
That's still a 23. That's still a 23.
Nice.
The door opens, and the butler reappears, calling into the main hall. Your carriage awaits, sir. He calls back. Just a minute. Trent?
Yes, Sebastian.
As I've said before, I am keenly interested in my family's history. And I trust you. Do you need any more funds for the travel there?
quickly in my head, do I know what the nicer boats run?
I would say you're probably looking at a few gold per person. Up to maybe 10 or 20 per person for like a really luxury sort of accommodation. But
The
even
luxury
for
ones wouldn't really run to Misty Town, though, would they?
no, you'd have to persuade there aren't any chartered ships out to the middle of nowhere.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to those sailors and pay them. We forgot to.
Pay them a visit, that is.
Maybe just a small stipend, 30 or so gold for boat fare to get us there.
Goodness. Trent, are you really that down on your luck? I gave you 500
Oh, no,
earlier.
We have the gold to pay for it, but if you are offering to pay for the expedition, it would be more gold that we can invest in making sure that we have the equipment to bring back everything you need. If it's easier, you could always just reimburse us for the expedition fee when we return. We have the gold, like I said, to pay for it in front.
What do you think is behind the locked door?
If I had to guess, it's the only room in the house that's been untouched by the years. And it's a door that one would have to have the key to enter. It must have been something important to your family. Now, what that might be, I don't know what your family did back then. I wouldn't be so bold as to hazard a direct guess, but I'm placing bets that there is some sort of magic behind the door.
He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the key. He says, I want every heirloom in there. Do you understand?
Very well.
If it's... After bringing in these items, I will look over them and we can discuss paying you for the expedition. And I'm putting my trust in you that you will be forthcoming with everything that you find.
I bow and I don't like reach for the key or anything. I'm just like, of course.
The connection between our houses may be in the future.
My eyes light up a little bit.
When they do, he pauses for a moment and he says, Trent, you're not engaged, are you?
Is he talking about like time-wise or like relationship?
I don't know, maybe Trent doesn't know.
Relationship.
I mean, either way, the answer is no, so...
He says,
Of course not. Or I guess not, of course not, but currently no, I'm not engaged.
I have a son.
He says, my daughter's around your age. Take this key and come back soon.
Have I seen any pictures of his daughter?
Oh.
Any portraits, I guess?
Roll for hotness. Does she look like a foot?
Retroactive perception
Okay.
check, please.
Can I roll it? Since I'm in the hallways, I probably saw her walking by.
Sure, yeah, just for your own knowledge, yeah.
That's a 18 perception.
An 18, okay. I would say
That's
that
a-
you have. I am grabbing the dreaded D10. Here we go.
I'm so excited.
Rolling
Oh my
for
God.
hotness.
This is gonna change everything.
Oh no. A 5. She's average.
As average as can be.
Okay, but she's average with a dowry.
She comes from a family that lives in a mansion and owns a bunch of businesses around town.
She comes with the fact that I could say Bastion is my father-in-law.
Exactly.
And throw that around. Okay.
I'll date you for your dad, he said. I think that's a pretty good place to stop the session. Bastion gets up, hands you the key, and goes for the carriage. He says, I assume you'll excuse yourself there. Here, and take this if you need anything for the money. I hope our two families have some future together. Hope to see you soon, Trent.
As well.
And he gives you a small red gem, which you can add to your inventory, and we will end the session there.
Thank you for your dad.
And suddenly Trent is no longer interested.
I swore Kane was gonna die there.
Oh my god, no, because I think, 12 damage taken and 12 damage healed? Beautiful.
Yeah, he had 15 HP, and he teetered at 14 twice during the fight. It's pretty hilarious.
Oh, shit, yeah, because I healed him twice back to,
Yeah.
almost 4.
That's risque, but he made it. So at the very end there, wow, you guys did a lot this session. You had a dinner with Kane, you went on a perilous walk, Merton watched the castle's house there, the trio got out of the Hillcrest and went back to the tavern, you guys had a big talk, all sorts of crazy stuff, eventually ending with a possible marriage agreement coming up for some nobles. Some blades were bought, some talking with the fence, and
It's a lot of setup, I think.
some love relationship stuff going on with the guardsmen too. All sorts of crazy bullshit. So we're gonna end it there. Players, I think you guys did great. Fantastic session. To the audience, always good to have you, and to all the supporters, we couldn't do it without you. Got another session tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and a bunch more D&D coming for the week. So we'll see you guys later. Adios.
I got the key, guys. I did it.
Well done.
Got the key.
Oh man, Alright.
I hope you know if you skip out on this guy's deal, we're gonna have other people chasing you after
Yeah, we're
we
gonna have
take them
some
to the
fucking
Oh, we're totally
I have-
skipping that.
I have decided that Trent is
gonna live a life.
guys are
on
gonna
the run.
have to